All right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's do this. It is draft day. I'm back from work. We just got some major breaking news. AJ Brown getting a big contract extension. How about Ian Rappaport? Coming in, hyping us up a little bit with, we got some Eagles breaking news. He says, AJ Brown, you think he couldn't possibly be traded again, could he? Nope. Big contract extension. Trying to get everything ironed out here. I've got a bit of a different setup today. I'll tell that story in a little bit, but as always, just feel free to say hi if you're in chat. This is quite the draft for the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know, man. I've got my title right. I've got my saying. I've got my guy that I want. The Vikings have got their guy they want. They're probably not gonna get him. I don't know what's gonna happen. We've got Christine in here saying hello, doctor, and go Falcons. Welcome to the stream, Christine. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, go Falcons. Good draft for them too. Picking 8th overall. Could see them trading down. We discussed that earlier when I was driving home from work. Or they could take Roma Dunze maybe if he's there, but we'll see. I don't know. I have them trading down in my mock draft that I kind of cooked up out of nowhere. That was a bit of a chaotic piece of work right there. We'll see how many of those I get right. Again, I think if my life was on the line and I had to nail every single pick, probably not the one I'd turn in, but I wanted to have a little fun with it. So I'll pull it up here in a little bit. We'll be keeping score. I explained my scoring on Twitter, but yeah. I'm sorry, my mouse is being so bad right now. But hopefully you can hear me okay. I have the microphone in the frame because whatever, right? And I also have my TV up to the left of me, so I'm gonna be looking at that when I actually watch the draft. Up to my left, your right. I've got the screen that you'll see when I switch to my computer in the middle. I've got chat on the right, and then I've got my computer out on my table that I brought down here running everything. So had to change the setup because I don't have speakers on my monitors, and you can't run YouTube TV and OBS on the same device for copyright reasons, which I guess makes sense. OBS is the software I use to stream. So I had to get a little creative, bring the tiny TV, my old dorm TV down to the setup. So I might have to take a picture of that later. But we've got Tyler and Jack in here. Let's go. Tyler's saying doctor in the house, and Jack saying doctor made it back just in time. I did. I get there, right? I had to cover the White County sheriff public forum today. We've got an election coming up, obviously, and sheriff is one of the contested races out here in White County. And I kid you not, at 11 o'clock this morning today, my editor told me, oh, by the way, you have to go cover this. And I was devastated. I didn't know what time it was going to be at. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me. I've been checking for weeks and weeks and weeks that I don't have anything going on draft night, right? It's not just draft day. This is probably the most important draft in my lifetime for the Minnesota Vikings. Just I have been looking forward to and agonizing over this day for so long. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Mere hours before the draft, I get told I have to cover this thing. I'm like, please don't be late. Please don't be late. It was at 6:30. I show up right away. They say we're going to try and keep this to an hour. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to get in here. We're going to take some pictures, record this, and then get the heck out of here and get back home. And here we are, just back in time. I got some upsetting news on Twitter from Tom Pelissero right before I sat down. It was to be expected, right? I've been realistic about this the whole time. It's always fun to have expectations, but the Vikings are probably not going to get Drake Maye. We'll see if we can get JJ. If not, then oh boy. But we'll talk about the Vikings when we talk about the Vikings. I've obviously got the jacket on. I got to rep the boys. I hope we can come out of here with a decent draft. Well, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, Christine saying the setup goes crazy. It really does. It really does. You got to see a sneak preview of it. But yeah, I'll drop the setup later because I'm really close to my TV right now. We got Caden in here. Welcome to the stream, Caden. Saying game time. It really is, man. It's slightly embarrassing, how nervous I've been about tonight. Because seriously, the Vikings, I legitimately think the Vikings are the team that has the most to gain or lose depending on how tonight goes. I mean, with the way their roster is set up, with how they, for better or worse, kind of put themselves in this spot where they need a quarterback now, and it's not even like they can wait around. Like, the quarterback kind of has to be good right away. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it is game time. And there's not 31 other teams. I think there's 28 other teams picking in the first round too. So hopefully we'll get some good trades, some good picks. Again, I've got that crazy mock. We'll be keeping score. I'm shooting for 12. I put that down on Twitter. I was like, I don't know, 12 is pretty high. That's a lot. We'll see. Maybe 10 is a more realistic goal for points, but Tyler saying on a mission. I was, man. Hey, I did my job. That's what I'll say. I did do my job to the best of my ability, right? It wasn't anything too crazy. I just had to go in with my phone, record the public forum. It was kind of like a debate, but just record that, get some pictures. I shook some hands, and then I was out of there. Back home in time, which actually I got to do something quick. I made a mistake. Whoopsies. I forgot to clock out, but we're going to do that right now. So that's all good. I can do that on my phone, fortunately. Otherwise, that would have been a problem. But I was on a mission. Jack saying, as long as the Seahawks don't take a running back in the first round, which we won't, I will be happy. Yeah, I mean, it's not even that great of a class for the running backs this year. I think Seattle's in a pretty good spot picking 16th, right? This is a very talented class overall, so can't complain. Oh, that's so funny. Christine knew. Yep. I forgot to clock out. Oopsies. Oh, well. I won't get in trouble. I'm a good employee, okay? For anyone watching this, I am a great employee, so. It is 8 o'clock. They're back in Detroit now. They're showing the crowd. It is packed out there. Props to Detroit for showing up for this one, man. One day I would absolutely love to go to the draft. That would be so sick. Oh, if they had the draft in Atlanta, that would be pretty sick. I wonder where they'd have it, but oh yeah. Or if they was in Minneapolis, I would probably try and go. That would be sick too. But I think we all know who the first pick is going to be at this point, right? It's got to be Caleb. Let me pull up my mock here for those that might have not seen it on Twitter. Okay, there we go. I don't know what the deal is with my mouse. I'm so sorry, y'all. Right, it's got to be Caleb. Let me pull up my mock here for those that might have not seen it on Twitter. This mock right here. I don't know what the deal is with my
Will
mouse.
it be the most
picture
perfect,
it's
accurate
be Caleb. Let me pull up my mock
ever?
here for those that might have
Probably
not
not,
seen it
but I had a little bit of fun
this
with
mock
this.
right here.
I
don't know what
the
deal is with my
Will
mouse.
it be
I'm so
the most
sorry,
picture
y'all.
perfect,
Based off reports, it
accurate?
seems like Drake May to the
mock
Commanders
my
probably
mock
isn't
ever?
happening.
That's one thing, but I had a little bit of fun
this
with
mock
this.
right
Believe
here.
it when I see it.
I'm gonna turn my phone
Will
around
it
because I
be
just
the
got an
most picture
ESPN
based off
notification
reports,
that
it
says,
seems like Drake
oh,
May
the
the
draft
Commanders
isn't
probably
ever
happening.
I don't
That's
want
one
any
thing,
tips.
but I had a little bit of fun
This
with
mock
this.
right
Believe
here.
it when I see
I
it.
think at the end of the day,
I
I'm
just
just
will
gonna
it
believe
be
it when I
the
see
most
it.
picture
For
based
me,
off
not
reports,
to
it
say,
seems like
oh,
Drake May
the
the
draft
Commanders
probably
probably
isn't
ever.
happening.
That's one thing, but I had a little bit of fun
This
with
mock
this.
right here.
When I see it,
think at the end of the day, I'm just
will
gonna
it be
believe
the
when I
most
see it.
picture
For me,
based off
not
reports,
to
it
say,
seems like
oh,
Drake May
the
the
draft
Commanders
probably
probably
isn't
ever.
happening.
That's one thing, but I had a little bit of fun
This
with
mock
this.
right here.
When I see it,
at the end of the day, I'm just
will
gonna
it be
believe
the
when I
most
see it.
picture
For me,
based off
not to
reports,
say,
it seems like
oh,
Drake May the
the
Commanders
draft
probably
probably
ever.
isn't happening.
That's one thing, but I had a little bit of fun with this.
There. How about that now? Wow. Okay. I did not hear that. I've got my audio on mute right now because I didn't want to hear myself. Good catch. Thank you guys. I guess you probably can't see this on my screen right now, but I had to remake one of my scenes in OBS today. I screwed up and I accidentally deleted the scene where it's like me in the corner and then also what you see on my screen. Thank you for that. Okay. This is what the inside of my brain sounds like. Yeah, I actually can't wait to go back and listen to this later. Actually, I did not hear that. I am very grateful that you guys brought that to my attention. We got a little oopsie moment here on stream early on, but wow, audio going crazy, hilarious. Yeah, okay, it is not your computer, folks. Your computer is fine. I just goofed up a little bit, but we fixed it. Hey, there's no such thing as too much doctor. That can't possibly exist. But Yeah. As you can see in this mock, I don't have the Vikings taking a quarterback until 23 with Penix. I'm seeing a lot of reports where they're going to take him at 11 if this is how the board plays out, right? Like, I honestly think, let's say there's a world where, like, Maye, McCarthy do go in the top 5 and there's just nothing the Vikings can do about it. Penix probably is the guy they would take just based off my gut feeling. I don't know about 11, though. That's pretty rich for me. I said on my last stream, my bold prediction was that I thought there's only going to be 4 first-round quarterbacks. I think I've backtracked on that a little bit. I still could totally see that happening. I do think it's a fair point to make, though, that we could see Penix and Nix go in the back end of the first round simply because teams would want that 5th-year option, right? First-round picks get that extra year where they're a little bit cheaper, and especially at the quarterback position, that's the big draw. That seems to be what the Vikings are enamored with. Is they've said, their front office has said so many times, the financial hack of a rookie quarterback. So getting an extra year of that would make sense. And then, for the Broncos, if Bo Nix is their guy, again, you could try and take him in the 2nd round, but you could talk yourself into being like, hey, we want that extra year of Bo Nix being cheap. We'll take him in the back end of the first. Trade down with the Bills, which I have here. And Brian Thomas at 12 might be crazy. Again, these aren't even all picks that I would justify. I do kind of like Brian Thomas, though, and I think he would make a lot of sense for the Bills. But if you're the Bills and you do want Brian Thomas, you might have to jump up to a 12 because the Colts would be a threat to take him. The Jaguars would be a threat to take him, right? The Steelers would be a threat to take him. Like, there's a lot of wide receiver needy teams right here. So if you really like Thomas, right, and you view him as like the 4th best guy, which most people do, if you're the Bills, you have that extra pick from the Diggs trade, maybe a little bit easier to stomach. It's a big swing, I know, for wide receiver 4, but they need one. So I could see this happening. I could see it happening, but Jack saying a sneaking suspicion that the Hawks are going to take Penix at 16. Caden liking it. Hey, he wouldn't have to go far, right? And Ryan Grubb is there, the OC. We talked about the link. That's a big reason why I've got Troy Fautanu going there. I could see Penix, though. For some reason, Seattle just doesn't seem to be super enamored with Geno Smith. And I get he maybe wasn't quite as good last year as he was the year before, but I don't know. Like, I think you would be happy if Penix came close to being as good as Geno Smith has been the past 2 years. I could see it, and based off just the way their front office has behaved, like, I wouldn't put it past them. I personally might just stick with Geno, though. I don't know. Penix to me is interesting. People talk about the injuries. That's one thing. He has been healthy recently. I'm just more of in the camp of he's old. How much more room is there for him to grow, really? Like, if you get Penix, you're hoping, like, the absolute upside is that he turns into like a league, like, middle of the pack starter, like the 16th best quarterback. And I don't know. You could just do better. I don't know. I'm not even like hating on Penix. Like, I think he's a fine player. He's got a live arm, but he's another guy that kind of benefited from the team, and I don't know. That being said, I totally think the Vikings might leave the draft with Michael Penix, which is fine, I guess. I mean, I'd rather have Penix than Nick Mullins again, but anyways. Jack saying they got to give Geno a chance, the new system, and they traded for Howell, so it doesn't make too much sense. I forgot about the Howell trade. See, that was so weird. Like, they're trading for Sam Howell. I guess they don't think Geno's going to be there forever, and I get that. And Geno's deal isn't, like, super long. And he is a bit older because he's been around for a while. But, yeah, okay. They probably won't. And they just have more pressing needs than quarterback. They really do. Let's see. Let's talk about some of these other projections that I have that maybe I didn't talk about as much last time. J.C. Latham to the Chargers makes so much sense. I've seen some spicy mock drafts even having the Chargers just take him at 5. I mean, I think they could totally trade down and still get him at like 11 or 13 are probably the 2 most likely spots. It makes sense for Latham to the Chargers because he is a right tackle. And if Jim Harbaugh really does want that offensive lineman and he wants a big physical tackle, that's exactly what J.C. Latham is. And as a right tackle, you don't have to move Rashawn Slater, who you've already got on the left side, right? I mean, Harbaugh literally just played against Latham in the college football playoff, so I think that's a pick that makes a lot of sense. Joe Milton, Caden. Joe Milton's interesting. I'd be curious to see what team he goes to. All right, we're gonna switch back to the big screen for now. We've got Eminem coming out. He's saying he's not afraid. Wow, it's time. Roger Goodell is out here. It really be time, man. It is draft day. How many of you guys have seen the movie Draft Day? Christina and I watched that movie a few weeks ago. You know, it's such a guilty pleasure of mine. It's such a fun movie. It's so bad. It's so inaccurate and like unrealistic, but it is so much fun. All right, I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Hopefully Roger Goodell doesn't pull up with the SUVs if like it picks up the audio of the draft a little bit. I don't know. You can maybe hear it a tiny bit. I don't think that they're going to shut this stream down, though. I might turn it down just like a smidge or two. Oh, there's Jared Goff. Look at all the Lions coming out. Wow, there's Amon-Ra, who just got paid. Oh, we got Michael in here. Let's go. Welcome to the stream, Michael, saying happy 2 years, by the way. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Yeah. Christine and I celebrated our 2-year anniversary yesterday. Well, we actually celebrated over the weekend. And we also went to Applebee's yesterday. Got some appetizers and a burger. It was a nice night. Thank you, Doctor and Nurse Pigskin, as Jack was saying. I love that comment on my Instagram post. Thank you, guys. Okay, Caden saying he can't hear it. Good. We are not going to get sued. Roger Goodell is not going to shoot me with a dart. We're safe. Look at all the Lions. My favorite team, the Detroit Lions. Did you guys know that the Lions only paid Amon-Ra just so that the Vikings would pay Justin Jefferson more? Wow. All right, it's 8:10. You know, I was hoping that like it would take a while for them to start the draft so that I could like settle in. Look at Jared Goff. You got to be happy for him with all that he's gone through. There's Hutch. Again, this whole Lions thing I have, it really is rooted in jealousy. I wish the Vikings were the Lions so bad, man. I really do. There's Barry. Lions finally make the playoffs again, and now they're on top of the world. Hey, you know what? I respect it, though. They've waited a long time, man. They have waited a long time for a team like this. I totally respect it. It has been a minute. Calvin's here? Dang, they got everybody. And they're booing Goodell. Classic. Look at that. The tradition is back. Caden saying, obviously there's been some rumors of JJ not coming back or being traded or whatever. Is there any chance for that? I mean, the fact that he hasn't put pen to paper yet means at least there is a slight chance. I really don't think it's going to happen. Word on the street is that the deal's already done. They're just waiting until after the draft to announce it. Now, no like official sources have said that. And this is the problem, right? There's so much time in between the Super Bowl and the draft that I've been out here scrolling on Twitter listening to people like Shredder, who, if you're on Vikings Twitter, you know all about Shredder. And it's my own darn fault for like listening to these people yapping on Twitter, claiming they have sources, and occasionally they get things right, and then you think, oh, what do they know? But, you know, I would put it at a very low percentage that he's not back, right? And even if he doesn't sign, like, he'll still be there one more year. Although if he just refuses to sign, we probably would trade him because then we'd otherwise lose him for nothing. But, like, Justin Jefferson, I would put it at like an 85% chance he signs an extension before the season starts. I think that that's a very high chance of happening. We just need to pay that man, really. We just need to get the deal done. I'm a little nervous, obviously. Like, it just, you know, I'm conditioned, right, to be nervous. I mean, Randy Moss left. Percy Harvin left, right? Like, Diggs left. Even Thielen ended up leaving, although that was later, but what can you do, right? The Bears are on the clock. Jack saying Caleb's phone rings. Yeah. You know, respect on the Bears, right? They're soaking this in. They weren't even the worst team in the league. They got this pick from a trade that also got them DJ Moore. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, and I know we've beat this to death, but it truly is incredible. Just the turn of fortune for the Bears in like these past 2 years. And the fact that they're going to get Caleb Williams, who, you know, been a lot of takes about him, but like one of the best quarterback prospects we've seen in like the past 20 years, probably. I'm not saying he's Luck level, maybe not even quite Trevor, but he's right behind him. I mean, this is a very good prospect who I think can be very good very early. They're showing him laughing right now. He comes into a great situation where they've got 2 legit wide receivers, a good tight end, an improving offensive line, and they have the 9th pick too. Like they are going to be hitting the ground running. I really think this Bears team could surprise some people, and Caleb can surprise some people with how good they're going to be right away. It would truly not shock me one bit if this team is in the playoffs year 1 with Caleb. They have set themselves up very well, and their defense is good too. I mean, they could totally add a difference maker on defense at 9, or maybe Rome Odunze falls to them at 9. Both, you know, they're probably either going to get like the first or second best defender on their board, or they're going to get Rome Odunze, or they'll trade down and get more picks. I mean, it would take a lot for them to not walk away as massive winners in this draft. They're showing Ryan Poles and the boys in the war room right now. It is kind of crazy how much Ryan Poles is really like teed up. First year as GM, not looking good. He's just like, all right, time to try. And man, he is not missed in like a year. Like he has really been on a generational heater, I gotta say. There's Caleb picking up the phone. It's gonna be the pick, right? Let's get this going. Great, another great quarterback in the NFC North. Woohoo! Oh man, these Bears games are gonna be crazy now. I mean, they've always been crazy, but. Caden saying, I've been seeing a lot of people compare Caleb to Russell Wilson in terms of locker room presence. I mean, who knows, right? None of us actually know the guy. There's always been whispers about, oh, Caleb is this, oh, Caleb is that. For what it's worth, Brett Coleman, who lives in Southern California, who lives like mere minutes away from USC's campus and has a lot of connections with their coaching staff, like he knows guys involved in the USC program. They've all raved about him in the locker room. And I guess like a Russell Wilson like locker room presence, that could be taken in multiple ways, right? Because a lot, you know, Russell Wilson, at least for the most part, seems like a nice guy. Like he's a little corny and maybe a little too obsessed with his image, but like he's not like a malicious person. So who knows? We'll really see once he gets in the NFL and there's that constant media spotlight on him. But who knows, you know? Jack saying Ryan Poles has done a great job for Chicago. He really has, man. Like you know, he and Kwesi were hired at the same time, and I gotta say, man, I think Poles has done a better job than Kwesi has so far. Poles inherited probably a worse situation, and he has put them in a better spot now in just a couple of years. So, good on Ryan Poles. Look at him turning the narrative around. Michael saying, at least Chris Carter was pretty loyal to Minnesota. You know what? He was. He stuck with us, right? All he does is catch touchdowns. That's what Buddy Ryan said about him back when he was on the Eagles. We do love Chris Carter. And I mean, it's not like, you know, Randy Moss left on bad terms, but we kind of patched things up now. Randy Moss definitely considers himself just as much a Viking as any other team. You know, he's come out to the bank a few times. He reps us pretty well. I mean, for what it's worth, that, was it like Pepsi or commercial, whatever, it was like him and Dan Marino and Jerry Rice. For what it's worth, out of all the jerseys he could have chose to wear, he chose a Vikings jersey. So, I don't know, man. You know. And I think his Canton bust had like the dreads, which I guess he had the dreads with the Patriots, or not dreads. Wow, I am white. Cornrows. Terrible. Caden saying, I really like that comparison. His attitude scares me a little. Yeah. And Game Solved is in here. Let's go with a little waving emoji. Welcome to the stream, Games. Hey, how about this draft for the Jaguars, huh? There's some rumblings that you guys might trade up for a pass catcher. I gotta say, if you do, right, go get Trevor a weapon, right? Go get him another weapon. We'll see. Or maybe even Brandon Ayuk. We'll see about that. Or you could stick and pick. I'll pull up my mock draft here in a little bit. I say mock draft. Again, I got a little crazy with it. It's different from the one I did on stream not too long ago. But one thing, this is something I could actually totally see happening. I have the Jaguars taking Nate Wiggins at 17. If they're not able to trade up, I think there's a good chance that's the pick. I kind of talked about it on stream last week. good schematic fit, right? He projects to be a good man corner with his length and his speed. And Trent Baalke, for better or worse, that GM of the Jaguars, he likes those athletic guys, right? That's why they took Trayvon Walker first overall. And back when he was at the 49ers, he was taking a lot of just athletic freaks. And, Nate Wiggins is just a great player, but he's got a lot of athletic tools, and that seems to be what the Jaguars are after. So they do need a corner. They probably need a corner more than they need receiver, but I think it's going to be one of those two position groups they're going to address in the first round. Game says, people keep saying the Jaguars might trade up for Bowers. Now that would be sick too. That would be an interesting fit. I'd wonder how they'd make that work with Evan Ingram there too, right? It would probably be a lot of, not the steal from Sean McDermott, but 11.5 personnel where it's two tight ends out there, but one of them is really going to be in the slot and then the other will be in line, but you've just got so much size and athleticism. You'd have to get a little creative with that. I would be fascinated to see how Dougie P and the boys would utilize that, but I wouldn't hate that either, right? Just go get a talented pass catcher. I do think we might see someone trade up for Bowers here. The one that I really want the most is the Rams. There's been a lot of reports that the Rams are trying to trade into the top 10. Apparently, they've got their eyes set on a player, and it's not a quarterback. I think it's Bowers, so we'll see. All right, here comes the first pick. Here comes Caleb. Yep, there it is. Caleb Williams, first overall pick, Chicago Bears. There's an embrace from his mother. Good for him. We got the first pick done now. This is where things start to get a little crazy, right? The consensus is it's going to be Jaden at 2. I will see it when I believe it. I will believe it when I see it. That's what I'll say. I will believe it when I see it. It makes sense schematically with Cliff Kingsbury, but Drake May played in an air raid offense too, and we'll see. But Caleb to the Bears, we've known this for months now, right? I mean, there's going to be sky-high expectations with Chicago, with how much they've been starving for a quarterback, with the way that their timeline is shaping up. But I don't know. I can't help but think that this is going to work and that the Bears are going to be a good team pretty quickly with Caleb Williams at quarterback. It's just so crazy, man. They win 7 games and they still get Caleb because they fleeced the Panthers last year. I can't say anything, though. The Bears have really just not had good quarterback play almost ever in their franchise history. I mean, they had Jay Cutler for a little bit. They got Sid Luckman, Jim McMahon, but they're lacking a 4,000-yard passer. That's what I'll say, quite literally. Oh, man. Jack says, apparently the Niners have been shopping both Ayuk and Debo. I have been seeing those reports. I just don't get it. Why would you trade Ayuk? I know you're scared you're not going to be able to pay him, but man, you've got him for one more year, and he's really good, and you're trying to win the Super Bowl. You have not achieved your goal yet. You have not reached the mountaintop. Ayuk is a borderline top 10 receiver in the NFL. I just don't know why you would be willing to get rid of that. Who cares if you lose him next year? You got to squeeze one more year out of him. Debo, I think Debo's a little bit more replaceable, which is funny to say because Debo's probably got a more quote-unquote unique skill set than Ayuk. But I don't know. Couldn't you just see the 49ers getting another just really athletic player, maybe like Malachi Corley or something like that, and just being able to kind of replace Debo? And they've also got CMC, and Debo's not taking as many snaps out of the backfield anymore to try and preserve him, which makes sense. So, but I've also seen they're not really getting much in return right now for these Debo offers. They're getting 4th-round picks. So, there's been a lot of trade rumblings for some of these wide receivers like Ayuk or Debo or T. Higgins. I would still be surprised if we see any of them be moved. I know we saw A.J. Brown a few years ago, but I don't know. I will believe that when I see that too. So, oh man. Caden saying, where can I watch the stream? Preferably for free. You'll need to download it. Don't need to sign up, says Game Solved. Oh, that's nice to know that there's a free stream out there. I've got trusty YouTube TV right now. Of course, I would never, ever advocate for going on Stream East or crack streams, for example, right? I mean, that's just wrong. I would definitely not go to Stream East right now and try and find a stream on there because I can't advocate for that. It's wrong. It's immoral. and you're stealing from a perfectly good and ethical company like the NFL. So I would not do that personally. Oh, I almost choked on my water there. But good to see the chat helping out too. Like, Game Solved is ethical, right? The ESPN app, right? See, that's what you should do. Try it. I mean, if you can just watch it for free on ESPN, do that, obviously. You'd get a better quality stream too. So Game Solved is a better person than I am, you know? Oh, we got Pear Champ in here. Let's go. Saying, hey, doctor. Hope you're doing well. Hope the work went well for you. It did. You know, we were in and we were out. I got to say, it was actually a lot of fun. I've been keeping up with county government and politics a little bit more, which is kind of crazy to say. And I've only been here like a few months, but I've met a lot of these local officials, and I've been doing a lot of stories about the upcoming election out here in White County, like Board of Commissioners and the county sheriff. So it was pretty interesting to go see that. And I got to say, I'm glad that we were in and out in an hour. It felt good to just be done in an hour, right? Let's keep it chopping, keep it moving along, right? I don't think that any other people there were as excited about the NFL draft as I was. It was a bit of an older crowd out there. This is definitely more college football territory, but I appreciate that we were in and out in an hour, right? I've got places to be. I got to be sitting in front of my screens, right? Tyler laughing. Game Solve saying, I'm not better than you. I use pirated websites all the time. See, I truly don't know what you're talking about. Like, pirate websites, like Pirates of the Caribbean? Like, I might want to check that out. Play a little pirate game? Please don't come for me, ESPN. Also, real ones are watching on NFL Network. That's what I'll say. That's always been my tradition, right? Watching the draft on NFL Network. You got Rich and the boys, right? Mike Mayock, or not anymore, I guess. Back in the day, Mike Mayock, Daniel Jeremiah, Charles Davis. I like the NFL Network crew. Hey, if you like ESPN, right? You got Kuiper and McShay. I like that too. Here we go. Commander's pick is in. Is it gonna be Jaden? Is it gonna be Drake May? There's no way it's JJ McCarthy. I remember those rumors from the aggregator accounts. Yeah, that ain't happening. There's just no way. But the pick is in. Ian Rappaport is talking about Jaden Daniels right now. Probably going to be the pick. It might be Jaden. We'll see, though. Let me pull up the mock here again. Parachamp saying, call me Jack Sparrow. Everyone's laughing it up. I love it. Jack saying, I like the crew of NFL Network more, but I like the setup of ESPN more. And ESPN has the iconic jingle. I will give you that. They got the da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. You know, ESPN definitely is for the people, right? But the football sickos like NFL Network. We got Mile Marker in here saying, hiya, hey, how about Detroit hosting the draft? It's been all about Detroit for the draft. And you know what? The Lions, they're picking late, but they might be in a good spot to address a position of need at cornerback. We'll see. All right, the Commanders pick is in. Let's just do this. You know, let's just get this over. Take Drake May now. Don't even dangle the bait in front of me any longer. Just take it now, right? Oh. Here we go. Here we go. Buckle up. Commanders pick. Again, I wrote down Drake May, but I really do think it might be Jaden. Let's see. There it is. Wow, it is Jaden. Wow. Jaden Daniels, 2nd overall. That is crazy. They were right. They were, forget the Top Golf or any of that. Through it all, it was Jaden the whole time. All right. Jaden Daniels to the Commanders. Cliff Kingsbury gets his guy, right? Air raid athletic quarterback. Jaden looks fired up. He's got the shades on. The Heisman Trophy winner going 2nd overall. And you know what? Here we go. We've got Jaden Daniels. We've got Scary Terry. We've got Jahan Dotson, who wasn't quite as good in his sophomore campaign, but a player I still really like. Let's see it, right? Let's see it. Commanders trying to turn things around with this new ownership group. It was Jaden all along. It really was Jaden all along. That is crazy. Drake May was not the 2nd quarterback, and we're not going to get him. You know what? No. I'm going to hold on to the dream until the very end. Show me a Subway trade alert. Show me a Subway trade alert and show me purple, please. Show me purple now. Give it to me now, please. Now, Drake Maye. Oh, man. Wow. Michael's saying, nice. Commanders have the next RG3. You know, there's some comparisons there, right? With the mobility. Maybe you can scheme him up, turn him into a nice little rusher. Wow. Wow. The war room is fired up. That's probably the guy they wanted all along. All right. Jaden Daniels, second overall. Here we go. Jack saying, except they didn't trade 3 firsts for him. Game Solve saying, LOL. No, they didn't. That was they didn't have to trade. That definitely makes it a little bit easier to stomach, right? You're not shelling out a bunch of draft capital for him. Again, I've said my Daniels take at this point, but you know what? This is a nice day for Jaden Daniels. We're not gonna say any of that today. Let's give him a chance. He hasn't played it down in the NFL yet. What do I know? I'm not an expert or anything, right? Today is a happy day. And you know what, Commanders fans, you should be excited. You got yourself an exciting quarterback. Let's see what he's got. Mile Marker says, listening, got friends at a card game going on. Oh, that sounds like a really nice night, man. You got friends, cards, and the draft. That sounds like the life. Heck yeah, that's awesome. And we got Henry in here saying, let the doc cook. What's up, Eric? Welcome to the stream, Henry. Oh, glad to have you here. Hope you're doing well on this nice draft day Thursday night, huh? Falcons, currently scheduled to pick 8th. We'll see if they trade down or not. Selfishly, I'm kind of rooting for them to trade down and let the Rams go get Brock Bowers. We'll see if that actually happens or not. But, you know, the Falcons could still get a pretty good player, even if they move down. If those medical concerns about Latu cause them to fall a little bit, they could still probably walk away. We'll see. But I do have the Falcons trading down in my little draft challenge. I'm 1 for 2 right now. I've got 1 point. We'll score Caleb, right? Let's switch the screen over. We're gonna do a yellow highlighter for 1 point, and then we'll come up with a different color for half a point. So, Caleb Williams, we got that one right. Good job, right? Let's go, doctor. Let's go. Drake Maye, we got wrong. Oh. All right, Patriots on the clock. You know what? Let's do this. Trade. Come on, Quasi. I don't care if Tom Pelissero says no. Right as I say that, I mean, we all knew it was coming, right? Why would they pass up Drake Maye? Like, truly, why would they? I could give my speech all I want about how maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. makes more sense for their timeline or whatever, but at the end of the day, they need a quarterback. They feel the pressure. They're going to go get Drake Maye. Why wouldn't they? I don't blame them, right? If they're as high on Drake Maye as I am, why would they not just take him? He's right there. Oh, why would they not just take him? Oh, thanks, Ian. We tried. Thank you. That makes me feel better. I'm curious what our final offer was, right? We all knew that the final offer was going to come in at the very end. I lost my mouse again. Goodness gracious. I'm trying to switch over so I can see chat better, but Jake. Wow, Jack is saying 2 for 2 for me, except I already busted now that the Pats pick is in. Do you have a trade? You know what? I respect you for believing. Oh, it's Sculver. We'll see. I would be happy with JJ. That's what I would still be happy with JJ. I think the best case scenario for the Vikings is they get JJ McCarthy at 11. I would be pretty happy with that, and that is definitely more realistic. But, oh, man. Game saying, if Caleb becomes a great QB and Bryce becomes a serviceable starter, is the Bears-Panthers trade the worst in NFL history? Now, I can think of one that might be worse. I will say that is up there because it really has crippled the Panthers. I would say the Deshaun Watson trade was pretty bad. I mean, for how much capital the Browns gave up, and just the fact that it was a morally reprehensible thing to do. And now seeing how Baker played with Tampa, is like, man, if they just stuck with Baker and let him be healthy, like, he still probably could have been pretty good. I don't think a whole lot changes if you swap out Baker with any of the other QBs they had. He might have even been better. All right, here we go. Just crush my dreams already, Roger. Just do it. Right? I'm not going to be sad the whole stream, I promise. I'm a neutral football enjoyer too, but yeah, good job, Patriots. You know what? You know what? Good job, Patriots. Well, it's tough, man, right? You move on from Kirk and you get so excited like, oh, we're going to get a great young quarterback. It's always easier said than done to trade up. It really is. And the fact is, we're at 11, and now that the top 3 guys are gone, man, you would be so lucky if whoever we got is like 75% as good as Kirk was. It's tough, man. It is tough. Good for Drake May. Good for the Patriots. Again, Robert Kraft was saying, like, we could work our way back into the first round. They still don't have a receiver, but if they can trade and get one, then they look a little interesting. For as much as we rag on their weapons, right, and their offense ain't looking too good, I kind of like their defense. Their defense still looks pretty good. I wonder how much continuity there's going to be schematically between Bill Belichick and Gerard Mayo, so there might be something there. Again, it is crazy how he made it to 3. Why would you not take him? Why would you not take him? I like the Jordan Love comp. I think I was pushing that on stream, maybe. I can't remember. But there's been some Herbert comps. I like he really does play like Love. He's got a little bit of chaotic energy to him. Ridiculously talented arm. Different platforms, different angles. He'll hit those fadeaways. He threw a left-handed touchdown once. He's a great athlete. I mean, he really... Like, there's some questions about his footwork and his mechanics, right? But, man, if you can clean those up, he really looks like he could be a special quarterback. Yeah, there was no way we were actually going to get him. It was fun to get your hopes up for a little bit. It's so stupid how they get both Brissett and May. The 2 guys I want, the vet I wanted and the rookie I wanted, and the Patriots get both of them. Some teams just have it all. You can, you know what? I'm not mad. Let's check chat. I need to chill. Caden says, I hope you all trade up for JJ. Trading up for him is a bad idea, though. It is, but we just might need to do it. I would honestly rather trade up for JJ than stick and pick Penix, because at least JJ has a lot higher of a ceiling. He's younger, probably a little bit better of an athlete. He's got just about as live of an arm. And there's more overlap with the offense he played in. Like, I really do have JJ as my quarterback 3. And if you're the Vikings, right, and you're trying to, like, set yourselves up to, like, elevate whatever rookie you take, you got to take the one with the highest ceiling, right? Like, okay, cool, we'd get Bo Nix. Like, what? Do we hope he turns into, like, the 17th best quarterback in the NFL? Like, I would be okay with trading up for JJ. Like, at this point, like, who cares? Like, value this, value that. You got to get good players. Like, you got to get good at some point. But Jack says, yes, good job, Patriots, for being the 3rd worst team. I mean, they were rough. This was a bad team last year. They really were rough. Michael saying the Ricky Williams trade on draft night might be the worst. Yeah, I mean, they, like, quite literally, the Saints, like, traded their whole draft, right? That was pretty crazy. And Ricky Williams had a fine career, but there's no way you could justify giving up that much. There's another trade for a running back that was pretty bad that involved the Vikings and the Cowboys. The Herschel Walker trade. That was rough. I don't think that was a draft day trade, though, but trade was atrocious. The D-Hop trade, yeah, getting David Johnson and a 2nd-round pick. The Bears did trade up for Trubisky. They traded up 1 spot because they were scared they were going to get leapfrogged. They traded up from 3 to 2 to get Trubisky. That's crazy. Yeah, that was tough. Oh, man. Kaden asked, where do you rank that amongst the ones already brought up? The Trubisky one? The fact that they moved up only 1 spot and the fact that Mahomes and Watson were in that same class and they took Trubisky, that is one of the worst draft day trades of all time, probably. I mean, they could have probably just stuck at 3 and taken him if they really wanted him. I don't know. Oh, man. Jack is hoping that they don't take Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Cardinals. It's going to happen. The pick is already in, right? He might be the best player in the draft. The Cardinals need a wide receiver. They've already got the quarterback. Like I said last week, getting Marv at 4 is kind of a steal. Like, he really might be the best wide receiver prospect since Calvin. Getting him at 4 is crazy. I think this is a slam dunk for the Cardinals. They're another team. Like, watch out for the Cardinals. They could be kind of fun. You know, they got Greg Dortch there, right? Trey McBride is looking pretty nice. I love their running game with James Conner. Good-looking offensive line. You got the quarterback in Kyler. They need a lot of help on defense. But, hey, you know, the Cardinals were looking terrible at this time last year. Now they could be kind of fun. This could be a fun team. Cardinals are not trading. The Chargers might, though. Yeah, they might be a team to watch to trade down for, especially if they want that offensive lineman. But let's see. It's got to be Marv right here, right? We'll start out with 2 out of the 4, I think. Yep, there it is. Marv to the Cardinals. Makes sense. It totally makes sense, right? All right, Maserati Marv. Jack's not happy. I mean, it is inevitable, right? I think we all knew this was going to happen. They're just going to stick and pick. Take the son of a literal Hall of Fame wide receiver who was just sick at Ohio State, who has consistently produced high-level wide receivers, right? I mean, he's... With Kyler Murray, man, I don't know. Draft Marvin Harrison Jr. in fantasy and see what happens. That's my take. I don't know, man. Caden says, or ride with Darnold and pick one next year. Don't know the draft class. Well, people are saying the draft class doesn't look that great right now. I think that it's crazy to call that this early. I mean, we have no idea, right? I would probably be more interested in pursuing a vet, though. I mean, Dak Prescott might hit the free agent market because the Cowboys just aren't going to give him a contract for some reason, right? I think that's the thing. I would hate to be like at this time next year, sorry, Dak Prescott, we're not going to go after you. We need to see what we have in Bo Nix another year, you know? But who knows? Yeah. Early draft chaos overstated. I know, right? I overplayed the chaos a little bit too much in this little mock here. We will take another victory here with Marvin Harrison Jr. Again, we're shooting for 12 points. I don't know that that's going to happen. I think 12 is a little rich, but we'll see. Sorry, I'm like stretching weird. I've got my trackpad, which is a little bit more reliable than my mouse currently, but Maserati Marv to the Cardinals at 4. No chaos. I think we might see some chaos, though, once we get past 7, I think. I think the first 7 picks, outside of this Chargers pick, probably would be pretty chalky. I think once we hit 8 with your Falcons, that's where we might see some interesting moves. And I think we might see a lot of trades in the back half, too. We'll see about any of these player trades, the wide receivers. I'm a little skeptical, but we'll see. We'll see. Devon Weatherspoon, we'll just lock him up. We'll see. Hey, we'll see. Get wrecked, Jack. NFC West, man. Tough division to be in right now. It is a tough division to be in. All right. So, do we think the Chargers trade here? Or do they just stick? If they trade, it's probably for a team that wants JJ. Could be the Broncos, although they just traded for Zach Wilson, so maybe not quite as likely. They might seem more committed to like a Penix or a Knicks personally. Would the Giants take him at 6? So would one team want to leapfrog? I don't know about the Giants taking a quarterback. Why would they not just go receiver? I don't know. We'll see. The Chargers are on the clock right now. They could go receiver, they could go line, or they could trade. That's probably their 3 most likely courses of action. A lot of people, if they have them sticking at 5, a lot of people have them either going wide receiver, if it's going to be O-line, J.C. Latham, over Joe Alt, which I think is a little rich. But again, like I said earlier, Latham is a right tackle, and he does seem to profile more into what Harbaugh wants. If you take Alt, you got to kick Slater or Alt over to the right side. And I meant to look this up. I'm pretty sure Rashawn Slater played right tackle in college, but would you really want to tell your all-pro left tackle, like, hey, you got to go move back to the right side, you know? And it is a transition, right? It is a very different position. You have to reverse everything, usually different assignments, different job description. So my kind of semi-spicy take is if the Chargers take a wide receiver, I think they're taking Odunze. I really do think Rome Odunze might be the second receiver. Well, I think the Chargers might take Odunze. I think the Giants could take Neighbors, depending on how this goes out. But I do think that Odunze makes a lot of sense for the Chargers with what they want to do. He's a more reliable possession guy. And it just fits with Harbaugh's scheme, and it fits with the way Herbert plays. So we'll see. But Game says, imagine if the Panthers come out of nowhere and they trade into the top 10 for a wide receiver. That would be so hilariously random. I mean, they got Deontay, but they need more, right? I mean, they still are very depleted. They could use that. They could use offensive line. My guess is if the Panthers did make a trade, it might be for a T. Higgins or something. But I don't know. I think the Panthers might just eat their vegetables, take the L, not blow any extra capital, just pick at 33, call it a day. Or I guess it would be tomorrow, but like, okay, we're just going to pick at 33. Right. We've got the rest of the draft, and then we'll get a first rounder next year. Like that, they might just do that. I think if they're responsible, that's probably what they should do. Do not double down, right? Do not try and go double or nothing here. You took a big L, accept it and move on. But we'll see. Jack saying that's who I've been picking. Adunze. I'm wondering if that's who you're referring to. Adunze to the Chargers. That's who I had on stream last week. I do think it makes a lot of sense. And I know Jim Harbaugh wants to run the ball and he likes building through the trenches. But goodness gracious, does any team need a position more than the Chargers need receiver? I mean, it is just bad. They've got 4 on their roster and none of them are very good. So I know they took Quentin last year, but he did not look that great. And even if he was good, again, you've got Quentin Johnston and then what else, right? Darius Davis, Josh Palmer. So they could go in a lot of different ways. They would make sense to trade down just because they have so many needs. I mean, they have so many needs on defense. They need multiple receivers. They could use help on the offensive line. Like, it's just not a very good roster right now. They might think, hey, we can prioritize just getting as many swings as possible in this draft and then just trying to like bring in as much talent as we can. That would make a lot of sense. I think that might, I don't know. We'll see. I've enjoyed enough of the Zen right now, YouTube TV. Let's get back. Games is saying the Chargers have 2 minutes. The clock is ticking. We're still at a commercial break. They haven't made the pick. Maybe they're on the phone. With Quasi. Are we just going to pony up right now and go get JJ now and just sign, sealed, delivered? Let's just do it. Let's get our quarterback. Let's end the madness. Are they on the phone right now, I wonder? Is that why it's taken so long? Or are they just trying to squeeze as much as they can out of a team and then just be like, all right, we're going to stick and pick? Caden says, isn't Herbert in the middle of the field throw guy? Or am I remembering wrong? If that's the case, wouldn't Neighbors be better? I mean, Neighbors is more of a slot guy, right? There is some questions about him consistently going over the middle in tighter windows. Herbert does like that underneath stuff. I mean, go watch that game against the Vikings where Keenan Allen had like 19 catches, right? It's a lot of like in routes over the middle of the field, or it's a lot of curl routes or comebackers. I think Adunze profiles a little bit better for that. And you can hit him on like a post route. So Neighbors is a burner, and he's a guy that you can just get the ball in space or throw it deep to. Not saying he can't do that other stuff. You know, I would understand Neighbors. Like, it really is pick your poison. And if Jim Harbaugh's like, no, I want a guy like Neighbors more, that makes sense. And I get everyone's like, oh, let Justin Herbert throw it deep. And it's not that he doesn't throw it deep, right? He's got the arm to do it. But as I'll talk about in my next video, which I promise is coming, it'll come after the madness of the draft a little bit, but throwing the deep ball isn't quite as easy anymore. And so you really do want more of those possession kind of guys. And Adunze can win over the top two. Like, they're both pretty balanced guys, but we'll see. Caden saying, I feel like a guy after the catch would be good for him. I get it. I totally get it. I could understand either. Chargers pick is in. All right, let's see. Are they going line or receiver? Line or receiver here. What do we think? Jack said could be Brock Bowers. You know, I won't rule that out. I think, you know, they could have maybe traded back for him. I don't know very far, though. Bowers was a common mock, like, back in, like, January, like, early in the draft cycle for the Chargers. I do think they needed wide receiver a little bit more. I mean, they've got Gerald Everett there, who's not bad, but we'll see. Oh, the ESPN app is no longer working. That's a tragedy. Henry saying if they pick, I think they go Alt. We'll see. I mean, Jim Harbaugh did kind of speak in hushed tones about Joe Alt. He seemed to be enamored with him. I could see it. Would they just go Latham, though? Would that be crazy? That would be nuts. We'll see. All right. I'm loving the discourse in chat, though. We're talking about what kind of receiver Justin Herbert might like more. Real ball knowers in the chat. Let's go. All right, here we go. Oh, there it is. Good call, Henry. Look at that. It is Joe Alt. Way to go, Henry. Look at that. Joe Alt at 5. The Titans are furious right now, man. Oh, you already know they wanted Joe Alt to fall to 7 so badly. It's Joe Alt at 5. All right. Good call. Look at that. JC Latham this, JC Latham that. No, just take the really good guy out of Notre Dame that's been seen as like one of the best tackle prospects in recent memory. Just take him. Whatever, they'll figure it out with Slater. I get it, right? They'll figure it out with Slater. It's a good problem to have, having 2 elite tackles. It is Joe Alt. Wow. Look at that. He's got the Q-zip and the polo. That is, he looks like a Notre Dame offensive lineman. I mean, he is big and physical too, right? This guy is 6'8", can block out the sun. Phenomenal technique, right? I mean, they coach him so well at Notre Dame. He can be a plug-and-play great tackle. Yeah. Wow, Joe Alt. It is Joe Alt. Justin Herbert fuming? Yes and no. I mean, Herbert has been getting hurt, right? Like, he has been getting hit pretty hard behind the line, and they have not been able to run the ball. Like, they have really struggled to run the ball the entire time Herbert has been there. So, it is a responsible pick. Again, what are they going to do at receiver? Maybe they have something else up their sleeve. They need to address it. Like, I really don't think they can go into the year with the receiving room they have right now. Like, that's just irresponsible. But this, this Chargers rebuild is going to take like maybe a year or two. People are going to have to be patient. Joe Alt is a patient pick. To me, that shows Jim Harbaugh knows he has time. He can build this out his way. He's being entrusted to enact his vision by the Chargers ownership and front office. And I'm just so fascinated to see if it can work in the modern NFL. Part of me thinks it can with the way the game has been trending, with defenses getting smaller and lighter and quicker, and we've seen some examples like Derrick Henry just going stupid. It's very fascinating, so we'll see. They are going to run the ball, though, whether you want them to or not. They're going to run the ball. Look at that. Wow. All right. Caden saying he likes the pick. Games is happy the Titans didn't get him. That is a big dub for the Jaguars right there. Remember I was talking up the Titans offensive line earlier, saying that this could be one of the most improved units? We'll see. They missed out on Alt. Might go tackle still, right? I mean, this is a great tackle class. Maybe they'll trade back. It really is such a Harbaugh pick, though. Messes up most of my mock draft. Oh, it messed up mine too. It's not looking good right now. We've got 2 points out of 5 picks so far. Not going so hot. Giants are on the clock. If this is JJ, I am actually going to be a little sad now. Like, oh man. Please take a receiver, Giants. If they take JJ McCarthy, I'm sorry. They would start to look like a little bit of a disaster for the Vikings. Oh boy. All right. The pick is in. I swear, if it's JJ McCarthy, man. Oh, man. Henry says Giants go JJ if they don't trade back. Jack says it's a deep receiver class, so I like alt pick. Stud linemen don't come easy. They really don't. I get that. What do the Giants do about the massive Daniel Jones contract? They just eat it. I mean, they just take the L, right? I mean, McCarthy is more of a project, so I guess you'd sit him for a year probably. Like, he probably wouldn't play right away if the Giants took him. They would probably trot out Daniel Jones right away, and then they'd let him go. They can get out after this year and not really pay the price for it. For as bad as it was, like as silly as it was to pay him that much money, they were at least smart to, like, have an escape valve where they can get out. I don't think it fully expires this year, but there's, like, there's some sort of language in the contract where, like, after this year, they're pretty much out of the woods. So if they really like JJ, go get him. Maybe JJ just wins the job from Daniel Jones, but we'll see. Ah, boy. Again, and we're talking about JJ McCarthy at this point. Like, he is one of the most polarizing players in this draft for good reason, right? He's very boom or bust. And there's a certain team he'd be more likely to boom for than the Giants. We'll see if they get him or not. The pick is in. Here we go, Roger. Don't crush my dreams again, Raj. Oh, they took Neighbors. Let's go. Oh, They took Neighbors. Oh, and we get it right. What did I tell ya? What did I tell ya? Brian Dable wants the speedy guy that he can scheme open for Yak. They did take Neighbors. We're taking a point, and we're still alive. We're still alive for the system quarterback. Let's go. All right. No shenanigans from the Broncos or anything, right? And it, like, you know what? You hate on JJ McCarthy all you want. Well, we'll see. All right, we're gonna take the point. All right, let's get a yellow highlighter going for Giants taking Malik Neighbors. Look at that. So it wasn't Odunze being the second receiver taken. Neighbors to the Giants at 6, though, right? The LSU wide receiver pipeline. You know, they had Odell, they had Reuben Randall for a little bit. Yeah, look at that. You know, Henry saying surprising a little bit, but you know, I think not even to play devil's advocate, but like for the point of view for this Giants regime, right? For Daboll and Joe Shane, like they kind of need to figure their crap out quickly, and like Neighbors helps them more this year than JJ McCarthy would. They are kind of going for their jobs right now. Like it was a pretty rough year last year, and the year before that, like they were kind of good, but it was maybe a little bit of luck. Hey, I know more than anyone, right? They beat us. But after that Daniel Jones contract, like here's the thing. Daniel Jones obviously isn't good, and he's not like worthy of how much they paid him. I don't think he's nearly as bad as some people think. Like Daniel Jones might be like the 20th best quarterback in the NFL, right? Not great, but like, you know, he's never had a receiver as good as Malik Neighbors, and they have needed receiver for a long time. I get take the stud out of LSU, right? That usually goes pretty well for you if you do that. So, and I think Daboll could do some diabolical things with him. Like Brian Daboll, for as rough as it was last year, like he did kind of squeeze a little bit out of Tommy DeVito, and he was getting like Richie James open in the playoffs. So I don't hate it. All right. Saying, come on, Vikings. JJ McCarthy. Come on. We got CB in here. Let's go. Welcome to the stream, CB. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a nice draft day. How about the Packers, huh? Picking at 25 right now. We'll see what their pick is. They could go a few different routes there. We'll see. Interesting draft so far, but glad you're able to make it in here. Game saying, could the Titans take Odunze? Never mind. Probably won't give up on Treylon Burks yet. Caden saying, so sad Burks didn't pan out. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, you know, give him one more year. It hasn't looked promising so far. He hasn't been, he was a risky pick to begin with. They did pay Calvin Ridley a lot of money. I don't think they go receiver here. This is a team that's had one of the worst offensive lines in the league for a couple years running now, right? And again, the Callahan family, right? This is offensive lineman royalty. This is a great O-line class. I think they go O-line here. Odunze continues, I won't say to fall, but he's hanging around there a little bit. Man, if the Bears get Odunze, good Lord. We'll see. But I'm curious what lineman they could go with here, right? They could go maybe Fuaga. If they wanted to get crazy, they could go Troy Fautanu. This is a team that's probably going to be running a lot of zone runs, right? Bringing Callahan over from the Bengals. Fautanu is a very agile guy that could play tackle or guard. Get him on the move, right? That's the name of the game with zone. You need those mobile linemen that can go up to the second level. We'll see. I don't think they trade unless some team is really starving. If some team is hungry for Odunze, well, as soon as I say that, the pick is in. But yeah, they got it in pretty quickly. All right, maybe they knew they weren't getting alt. I mean, they could go Odunze if they really just want to see what they have in Levis and just build a sick receiver room. I still kind of like Calvin Ridley, maybe not like as a top-end number one, but like Ridley Hopkins, and then you got a Okonkwo at tight end, and see what you have in Treylon Burks. He's at least a guy that could make a cool play once a game. Like, it could be a lot worse. I think their line is in much worse shape, specifically their tackles, than their wide receivers. Like, I really think offensive tackle should be the pick here, but we'll see. It could be Olu Fashanu from Penn State. It could be Fuaga. It could be Latham. Like, there's a lot of different there's a lot of different options here. One pick that I would have loved to see, and they could probably trade down to get this guy. I would have loved to see a Marius Mims go to the Titans. Again, a bit of a project, but man, if there's one coaching staff that could really coach him up and help him reach his full potential, Titans make a lot of sense. But they would have probably traded down and tried and got him. But yeah. Jack saying, watch the Titans pick JJ. That would be hilarious. No, it would not. That would hurt some people's feelings, I hear, according to sources. Is that, I just had Tom Pelissero tell me that would actually not be hilarious. Caden saying the wide receiver class is too deep and the wide receivers are too good for them to take one here. Yeah. I think it's going to be offensive tackle here. It makes the most sense. I think it comes down to Fashanu, Fuaga, maybe Latham. It's got to be one of those three, though. That's my guess. Probably, if I had to put money on it, I'm going to say Fuaga. I don't know. I really like Talisa Fuaga. I think I have him as my tackle, too. I just can't help but think he put on a show against Latu when they played UCLA. Not a lot of linemen can say that. He showed out in that game. It's just burned in my mind. Henry saying, can we get a Falcons-Vikings trade? I could see that if they totally just want to ensure that they get JJ at 8, right? They might not have to give up their second first to move up 3 spots. Although they don't have a lot. They don't have a very deep bag of draft capital. That's the tough part. I think they're going to hold their water at 11. That's kind of been the report, right? And I tell you what, outside of getting Drake Maye, getting J.J. McCarthy at 11 is probably the second best outcome for the Vikings here. We'll see. We could totally hold our water here. Come on, right? I don't think the Titans are taking a quarterback. The Falcons certainly aren't. The Bears certainly aren't. And then the Jets. Oh, what if the Jets did? They won't. They're all in, right? They're going to try and take a big swing. Okay, we'll see. How about a Rams-Falcons trade, right? Put Brock Bowers with Sean McVay, please. Oh, that would be so much fun. Oh, we'll see. There have been those rumors, right? Sean McVay's first ever first-round pick is going to be an offensive player, right? This is an aggressive team that says, screw them picks. The moment they get one, they're going to try and make the most of it. I could see it. But we'll see. That would be a lot further down for the Falcons to move. I could see them being a little more hesitant on that. Like, going from 8 to 19 versus 8 to 11, or just sticking at 8 in general. In a similar vein, I really think, for as much as there's been talk, like maybe the Falcons go Rome Odunze, don't you just think Raheem Morris's first pick, the first pick of the Raheem Morris era, is going to be a defender when they have such an obvious need at edge? Right. Jack saying, do not put Bowers with McVay. I understand that, right? That would, for an NFC West fan, that would be tough. As a neutral football enjoyer, though, would that just not be the coolest thing ever? Yeah, I get it, though, right? I'm about to watch the Bears get Caleb and then another top player in this draft. All right, Titans. Show me Fuaga. I'm high on the Titans. I kind of like them. Oh, it is Latham. Wow. All right. One of the younger prospects in this class, a little bit higher upside, massive frame, right? Those Bama linemen. All right, they're going to go with the right tackle. Latham going at 7. There has been a lot of chatter about him going pretty high. Wow. All right. Look at that. Jack saying, holy crap, I almost thought he said J.J. McCarthy. Oh, could you imagine? J.C. Latham. I wasn't fully expecting it either. It was on my radar. I thought it was going to be Fuaga. All right. Look at the Titans. You know what? I'm kind of bandwagoning just to the division of AFC South as a whole. I am in on the AFC South being a fun division this year. And even though there's a clear hierarchy of who the best teams are and who the not as best teams are, I think we're going to have some fun games, and I could see a little bit of chaos. Could you see the Titans pulling off an upset that determines the division standings a little bit, right? This Titans team ain't going to roll over. I like the Titans. I said it. I like the Titans. All right. All right. Falcons on the clock now. Saying, come on, Terry. You know what? I noticed I had them. Let's just keep the sheet up the whole time, right? You get a nice little visualizer of my points. Yellow highlighter, remember, that's a full point. We'll come up with a color for a half point. So far, no half points. We've got 3 points right now. Not on very good track to get to 12, but we'll see. We're along for the ride, right? We prioritize chaos in this mock draft of sorts. All right. Falcons on the clock. Rise up, right? Let's go, Falcons. You know, you got Kirko now. You're hoping you can make a playoff run here. You're hoping you can finally get a playoff game in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You're hoping you can win said game. You've got a quarterback now. You've got some weapons. You bring in a real nice-looking coaching staff. You're in a really weak division. Go get the biggest difference maker. Now, do you think it's a Dunze who's still on the board and would just give them a disgusting group of weapons? I mean, Drake London, Roma Dunze, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts, Bijan, Tyler Algier. I don't know. I think a Dunze and Drake London are a little too similar, right? And a big reason they got Darnell Mooney was because they needed that field stretcher. I think if Neighbors was there, you'd consider Neighbors a lot more than you would a Dunze. I think there's a little bit too much overlap in the skills of London and a Dunze for me personally. You got to go edge. You got to go which defender do you like the most? Probably edge, probably Dallas Turner or Latu. I personally like Latu a little bit more. I know there's the medical concerns. Or is this where we see our first trade? Because as much as you might just want to stick and pick, you could maybe move down and get one of the edges. They're considering a QB. Oh, they better not. To me, that is crazy. Like, forget the Vikings or anything, right? By signing Kirk, you kind of show that, like, you're all in for these next few years. To punt on the 8th overall pick for a guy who's not even going to play, to me, that's just silly, right? You might think you're setting yourself up for your Kirk succession plan. No, do not even think about that right now. 2027 is 2027's problem. You're trying to win in 2024. Do not take a quarterback if you're the Falcons. That's what Schefter just said. There's no way. There's absolutely no way they take J.J. McCarthy, right? I mean, no, there's no way. I get, okay, he's a project. You want him to sit behind Kirk, and really Kirk is only there 2 years, but you got to maximize those 2 years. You got to maximize it. There's no way. Oh my goodness. Wow. There is chatter of quarterback, apparently. Adam Schefter. Please, no. Please, no. Games is saying in 2023, the Colts lost to the Texans, gave them the number 2 pick instead of the 1. Butterfly effect, right? Falcons pick is in. What's Rappaport saying? Penix? They're thinking about Penix? No. Well, how could they smoke screen when the pick is in? There is no way they're taking Michael Penix to be a succession to Kirk. There is no way they're taking the 24-year-old quarterback as no. He would play till he's like 26. No, this is not real. You know what? I finally get to say it. Chat, is this real? There is no conceivable way. There is no way. No. I am being gaslit right now. This cannot possibly happen. Wow. Wow. Game solved, going with the AFC South lore right now. Yeah, the Titans did beat the Jags to get them out of the playoffs. They put them in the bad place. That's right. Then there was the Colts. The Jags got the Colts out of the playoffs. That's right. Yeah, with Carson Wentz. Kanan saying got to be a smokescreen. There was talk of them taking prior to the draft. If they take Penix, I'm going to burst out laughing. I truly do not believe this. I truly do not believe this. No. They are not taking Michael Penix Jr. 8th overall. Impossible! 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 No! 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 I am so sorry, Henry. No. 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 Why? Why would you do that? No. There is no way. No. 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 This is legitimately one of the most shocking draft picks of all time. To any Falcons fans watching this, and particularly Henry, I truly, from the bottom of my heart, am so sorry. Like, I Are you kidding me? Here's the thing, right? Again, we don't know. We truly do not know anything. 4 years from now, we could be like, holy crap, Michael Penix is so good. Wow, the Falcons, they got 2 years out of Kirk. I truly cannot understand the logic here. If you're going to take a quarterback to sit behind Kirk, don't take the 24-year-old who cannot develop as much. Do not take the lower ceiling guy. And if you're really going to do it, don't take him at 8. Do not take him at 8. No one else was taking him. The Bears weren't going to take him. The Jets weren't going to take him. We might have. You know what? Like I get Kirk's not going to be there forever, but you hope you get 2 years out of him, right? That's how you structured his contract. Is you can get out after 2 years, but you want to be good for those 2 years. You could have had your pick of literally any defensive player in the entire draft, and you double down on quarterback on a guy who's 24 years old. No. That is just impossible. No, this was legitimately on no one's radar. No one in their Falcons taking a quarterback probably had some of the longest odds. If you go on like any sports book, I'm sure just you would have gotten some ludicrous odds for the Falcons taking a quarterback, let alone taking one at 8. At 8. Michael Penix Jr. at 8th overall to a team that just got a quarter. No, this is impossible. This cannot be real. What? Well, the next pick is in. The next pick is in. The Bears are about to get Rome Odunze, aren't they? The Bears are just going to get Rome Odunze. And he makes sense for the Bears. Yep. That is insane. How do the Bears get Odunze and Caleb? And Odunze fits perfectly. You've got DJ Moore, the speedster who can beat man coverage with his speed, good after the catch. And then you've got Keenan Allen, the crafty veteran who finds holes in the zone, the route runner, the steady hands. And then you've got Rome Odunze, the big possession guy. I mean, this Bears team is going to be good. The Bears are going to be good, folks. They could challenge for the division. This team, I'm going to say it, this team could hang with the Lions and Packers for the NFC North. They absolutely could. They are firmly in the race to win the division. With Odunze, Keenan, DJ Moore, Caleb Williams, and that defense, they are right there. This is a team that could win like 12 games if things break their way. Oh my goodness. Vikings trade. All right, chat is saying Vikings trade. We're just gonna play it safe. We're gonna move up one spot and get It's got to be JJ McCarthy, right? You know, were we really that scared? We were probably scared. Maybe Denver was gonna try and leapfrog us. Maybe the Raiders try and leapfrog us. All right. I hope we didn't give up too much, right? I hope we did not give up too much. We're just moving up one spot. Maybe, just maybe, we got to be able to keep our second first rounder, right? We're moving up one spot, right? Again, if we can keep our second first round pick and we get JJ, I'm walking out of here pretty happy. I am. This ain't bad. My phone is blowing up right now. All right. Let's see the comp. This is truly. Oh, let's go. We got Alex watching the stream right now. That's right. I'm calling him out. He's blowing up my phone. Man, what is this draft? I got to turn on the fan. I'm getting hot in the jacket. All right. System QB. Let's go. Haters are going to be so mad when they're like, well, we charted JJ McCarthy and he had 5 turnover worthies in this play and he got lucky that he threw only 1 interception. Yeah, well, I'm going to chart him with 300 yards and 2 touchdowns as we win 28-20. So, yeah. The haters are going to be fuming when we have the best system quarterback in the league. That's right. The system is going to be sick. Let's go get the high upside guy, right? Sam Darnold, JJ McCarthy. All right. Hey, look at that. We keep our second first round. I mean, it was obvious, right? We're moving up one spot. We get the 10th, and we get a 6th for 11th, a 4th, and a 5th. We really do not have deep pockets for this draft, but all right. Wow. I'm getting reports that Todd Bowles just smiled and said yup when he was asked about the Michael Penix trade, or the pick. Wow. All right. Man. Oh my goodness. All right. You know what? Let's do this. Yeah, we got the system QB skull chant going. Let's go. You know what? Let's take the guy with the TikTok haircut, right? We're getting the youngest quarterback in the draft. He is a great athlete. He's got a live arm. He needs refinement. But you know what? Tell me why KOC can't fix him, right? Who is a quarterback in the NFL behind Tom Brady, Mr. Mechanics himself, right? This is a leap of faith for our coaching staff if JJ's the guy right here, right? He is a project. I think that's been the misconception. You look at like a white Big Ten quarterback that just has been handing the ball off a lot, and you think, oh, he's just a bland, like Raisin Bran quarterback, not a lot of upside. Complete opposite. The appeal of J.J. McCarthy is the upside, is the talent. He has shown a lot of flashes on tape. He just doesn't have quite the same amount of volume as some of the other guys have. But there is absolutely, like, he is like a ball of clay that you can mold. Now, it's not a given, right? I'm not saying that he is guaranteed to hit his ceiling. But if it's going to be anywhere, is it not going to be the team with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, a good-looking offensive line, and Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown on the coaching staff, right? Quite literally. This is where all the rookie quarterbacks wanted to go. So you know what? Let's take a swing, right? Let's take a swing. The podcasts are going to be like, ew, but you know what? I'm going to be like, ew, back to them. So, all right. Caden asking, did they need to trade up, though? I think at this point, you just need to be sure, right? You wanted to get Maye. You didn't get him. McCarthy is plan B. You don't walk out of here with McCarthy. It's an unmitigated disaster. I'm okay with giving up a 4th and a 5th to move up one spot and just be absolutely sure that you get JJ. I am okay with that. Because I tell you what if the Broncos one-upped us just a tiny bit and they got him, all of a sudden we're walking out of here with Bo Nix. That is worth a 4th and a 5th for me right there. It's worth it. Just be sure at this point, right? You're there. Just do it. Also, hey, look at that. Wouldn't you know, we get a point for Roma Dunze to the Bears. Look at that. Let's use the yellow highlighter. 4 points. All right. All right. You know what? The Shea and Chet commercial. What even is basketball? I don't know what you're talking about. Michael saying, clearly system QBs work. Otherwise, 3/4 of an NFL fan base wouldn't be whining about him every year. Right? See, here's what I'll say. Who are the quarterbacks of the two teams in the NFC Championship game this year? It was Goff and Purdy. Both, like, good players, and that is the important thing. Like, McCarthy still needs to be good. Like, he can't just absolutely poop the bed. But, like, both guys that, like, kind of get knocked for, like, oh, they get their hand held by the offense and the supporting cast. But it works, man. Like, if you can have a good enough puppet and you've got some good puppet masters, it works, at least to an extent. I'm not saying that the Vikings will ever win a Super Bowl with J.J. McCarthy. I think they would need to get a better roster in order to do that. But there, you could see the vision of like, hey, J.J. McCarthy could turn into like the 12th best quarterback in the league. And with how sick our offense is, we'll take that, you know? So let's do it. Let's do it. We totally were scared that a team behind him would trade up, right? The Broncos have been dead set about getting a quarterback. I mean, Sean Payton himself said, like, we want to get our guy. He's talking about, like, the jersey with the names crossed out. Like, we want to make sure the next one isn't crossed out, right? The Raiders need a quarterback. They're lurking right there. And, like, who knows? Apparently the Falcons felt like they needed a quarterback too. So there's, like, that's always a thing. But, yeah, that is just crazy. All right. I've had enough of the Zen YouTube TV. Let's please get back to the draft. All right. Let's go. Skol. Let's get a skol in chat going. Skol. 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 Come on. Give me JJ to JJ. Give me JJ to JJ. Respectfully, I will watch the commercial later. But tonight, my bedtime viewing is going to be JJ McCarthy tape that is going to reinforce my preconceived notions. I'm going to ignore the bad and focus on the good. We got a Caddy Cut Up subscription. We're going to be watching some JJ McCarthy film tonight. All right. Here we go. Even Rich Eisen cannot believe that it was Michael Penix. All right. Here we go. Wow. All right. We got some heroes. Do not put that devil magic on me. No, did they spoil it? No. 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 I saw it. I saw it in chat. This cannot be real. Am I being pranked? No, I'm not. Mine is behind and I saw in chat. I know we did not just take Bo Nix at 10.
With the 10th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select JJ.
Yes! Yes! Oh, yes! Yes! You guys got me! You evil sons of guns! I hate you guys. Oh my gosh. That was really well done. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh, you sons of guns. No. Let's go. Let's go. JJ to JJ. Let's go. We get QB3. Let's go. We get the young guy with the athleticism and the upside. Alex Smith? No. Tony Romo. Tony Romo. He's a winner and he's efficient. Sounds like he's got the it factor to me. Oh, man. You guys boomed me with that. I was like, there's no... Because Game Solved and Jack were both saying it. I was like, they're both saying it. I don't know if they are in cahoots or if like they just picked up what they were throwing down. That was a brilliant alley-oop, dunked on my head, right? Hit the LeBron on me. Oh my goodness. I would have been furious if we took Bo Nix at 10. All right, you know what? We got one, JJ. It's time to lock up the next. Go get the deal done, Quasi. Put the pen to paper. Let's bring Justin Jefferson home. Hey, I've had JJ McCarthy as QB3 since like January, all right? And he's a Viking. We'll take it. We get to keep our second first. Hopefully we can get an impact defender or just whoever we so please at 23. JJ McCarthy. All right. I don't hate it. Yeah, Michael, dude, you and I were dead wrong. We were on the only 4 quarterbacks are going. Who would have thought Penix went at 8? At 8. Oh, look at the CJ Stroud comparison. Oh, I mean, shoot, if you're going to say it, I guess I'll just agree with the guy who gets paid to do this. Shoot, why not? Let's go. Oh, man. All right. We beat the Bo Nix allegations. Thank goodness. You know what? Let's see. Can JJ win the job right away from Darnold? If I had to put money on it, Darnold will probably start week 1. But, man, wouldn't it be nice if JJ's just won the job right away, right? We paid Darnold a decent amount of money. Probably going to be the bridge guy. I think we'll see JJ at some point this year, though. But, yeah, again, there's tools to work with here. He is not a finished project. You want to help him reach that full potential. To steal a little bit from Extra Point Taken, podcast with Ben Solak and Sheil Kapadia with The Ringer, right? The things you want to consider when you're drafting a player. What are the odds that they hit? And if they hit, how good can they be, right? And throughout this whole draft process, if you've listened to Quasi talk, he's talked about how we're trying to mitigate the risk of if they're going to reach their full potential or not. That's why we took Jordan Addison last year. That's why we brought in TJ Hawkinson. We have been building an exoskeleton for a quarterback this full time, hoping we can get a good enough team with this coaching staff that we can squeeze every last bit out of it. And I think there's just a little bit more juice inside of McCarthy than Nix or Penix. And if any team is going to get that juice, it's us. It's us. All right. You know, that's crazy. Still no defenders yet. You're absolutely right. Caden saying, when's the first defender being taken? My guess is 12. Could be Denver. Yeah, Denver could go edge. They do need an edge rusher. I could see Latu or Turner going to Denver. Let's see what the Jets have here. Are they going to go Brock Bowers? That's been a popular take. I've got my questions about how he'd fit with Nathaniel Hackett's scheme, but let's see the pick first. How about? Oh, it is Olu. Hey, we get half a point. We had Olu going to the Jets. They ended up going tackle after all. They addressed this position very heavily in the offseason, bringing in Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses. Both those guys are on the wrong side of 30, though. Both those guys are injury prone. Take the athletic freak in Olu, right? Maybe he won't play year 1. I know the Jets are all in, and maybe you think, oh, they can take a guy that they want him to see the field right away. But you know what? It makes sense. They will need offensive line help, right? Tyron Smith is not going to be there forever. All right. What color are we feeling for half a point here? Let's go. Nope. Let's go middle school Under Armour green. Yeah. All right. Half a point. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.5 points. We'll live with that. All right. Olu. The Jets did choose the responsible decision. You know, I got to say, the Jets have actually been very responsible this offseason. It's not just been the Aaron Rodgers show, right? They address the offensive line. They bring in another wide receiver, right? They trade for Hassan Reddick. They're most certainly all in, but it's been smart moves. It hasn't been go get Aaron Rodgers' best friends. So Jack says, I love how the Jets went all in and haven't made the playoffs in 13 years. Crazy how the NFL works. Yeah, I mean, and their quarterback getting hurt had a lot to do with that last year. Aaron Rodgers is just a massive question mark. I mean, we truly have no idea how he is going to look. He's on the wrong side of 40, and he's coming off an injury, but they're looking good. Like, they were a very competitive team last year, even with maybe the worst starting quarterback in the NFL in Zach Wilson. And the defense still should be great. They've improved a lot on offense. I think if Rodgers is healthy and he's not a disaster, this is a team you're looking at. They're making a playoff push. So, but it's been a while since they've made the playoffs. So, but it was the respectable decision. Man, Jack saying, I'm happy Penix is gone so the Hawks won't take him. Maybe you guys are getting Bo Nix, huh? Maybe that's, my YouTube TV should magically get ahead. I'll be like, oh, Bo Nix. Oh, man. All right. Shoot, who even is next? It is the Broncos, right? I had a trade. The only trade we've seen so far is the Vikings moving up one spot. All right. You know what? JJ at 10, though. I can definitely stomach that. I have no issue with that. All right. We will take that. All right. I can't complain with how the draft has gone out. Oh, Bo Nix's music. The Broncos have to take defense here? Probably, right? I mean, it's edge truly would not shock me here. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think they're a dark horse team for Bowers. I don't know. Sean Payton's always liked his tight ends. They could use a weapon. I do think it's got to be defense, though. They will probably go Bo Nix in round 2, although truly, who knows? I mean, just truly, who knows? Jared Verse, I could see that, right? I feel like the first 3 edges, it's just kind of taste and preference. But we'll see. Another commercial break. These are killing me. I guess they gotta make their money, right? Ads is how we eat. That's what we say over at the paper. Ads is how we eat, but been yapping a lot. Need some water. Look at that. Good turnout, though. Hey, everyone give yourselves a hand. This has been a fantastic turnout for the draft stream so far. Active chat, talking ball. We got to enjoy this night, right? Because I tell you what, once draft season is done, we enter the dark age. This is where we have like just stupid off-season storylines and OTAs and training camp, and that's all we've got. And you feel like a junkie scratching your face, like, please just give me anything. Give me Giants Commanders Thursday night football. I'll take anything. Like, I'll take preseason. So let's enjoy this ride while we can. Brock Bowers is still on the board. Still no defenders taken yet. The Broncos pick is in. I think it's going to be Bowers or a defender. That's my guess. I'm going to say Latu. That's my prediction. We're going to go with Latu to the Denver Broncos. They're in such an interesting spot. I mean, with the cap situation with Russell. Daniel Jeremiah saying there's other positions. It has been only quarterbacks, receivers, and offensive tackles. Yeah, it has. I mean, it's a very offensive heavy draft. Oh, I know the Broncos aren't taking Bo Nix at 12. Give me Spencer Rattler over Bo Nix. Some team is going to take Spencer Rattler in round 3 and be happy they did 4 years from now. I don't think they go quarterback at this point, right? The quarterback run, like, realistically, the Raiders could take one right behind him, but 13 is just so rich for Bo Nix. I don't think we see another quarterback in the first round now. I think we've seen them all. Unless Denver just does it. I mean, Denver could just do it, but there's some decent corners in this class too. You got Quinyon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold just off the top, right? But I think Indy makes a lot of sense for a corner. Alex saying before Falcons trade up for Bo Nix, they're going to run the 3 quarterback offense in Atlanta. You know, anyone could throw the football. It adds an element of unpredictability. Right? You've got Kirk out wide. He could just catch it and throw it. Who cares if that's illegal or not, you know? All right, Broncos. Let's ride. Oh, it is Bo Nix. No, I know a team did not take Bo Nix 12th overall. Why? 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 I'm sorry. I'm sure Bo Nix is a wonderful human being. I mean, he's Sean Payton's guy, right? I get that, like, you know, he makes a little bit of sense for what Sean Payton might want to do. Dog, he's like almost 25 years old. He wasn't good for like 4 years in the SEC. Like, there's a reason he's played so much football. He wasn't good enough the previous years to come into the draft. Go look at his numbers at Auburn. He wasn't like Georgia ate him for lunch every year, and then we ate him for lunch. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just truly don't get it. I do not get why. Whatever. I'm. You know what? No, I'm being nice, right? I'm being nice. Good for Bo Nix. He's got a lot of family and friends there. This is the biggest moment of his life. It's been an incredible turnaround. I mean, he got crapped on a lot at Auburn. Now he's the 12th overall pick in the draft, right? You know? Oh, man. I'm speechless. Oh, the quarterbacks are gone. I'm out here saying, you know, only 4 quarterbacks are going to go in the first round. We do this every year where we overrate quarterbacks. No, we underrated them this year. What the heck is going on out here? Kirk is the new Taysom Hill. Let's go. Yes. Multi-purpose threat. Athlete. Caden can't believe it. Jack saying they might have been worried the Raiders would take him. Yeah, man. What do you do if you're the Raiders now? Spencer Rattler. Let's go. Come on. Spencer Rattler to the Raiders. Let's keep it going. Come on. Michael Pratt to the Saints. What are we doing? Hey, I get half a point for Bo Nix. I do. I got the team right. Where'd he go? There he is. All right, half a point. You know, it makes sense. Just like, okay, Sean Payton wants Bo Nix at quarterback. The accuracy, the short passes, the quick hitters. I don't know, man. That offense he played at Oregon was so easy. His average depth of target was hilariously low. So many of his yards came off of screens. And again, just when you're almost 25 years old, like how much better can you really get? I mean, for those that follow me on Twitter, you saw that tweet that I quote tweeted of like the old quarterbacks getting taken. I don't know, man. I don't know. But Michael's saying this is a mock draft analyst's dream draft. I mean, it's all this is the NFL's dream draft. I mean, the discourse, the quarterbacks flying off the board. It's pick 13 and we haven't had a defender. Defense no longer exists. Alex saying Austin Reed. Oh my goodness. All right, Raiders on the clock. Maybe they go defense, but they don't need edge. They could maybe go corner, right? This is Antonio Pierce's team. They're going to punch you in the mouth and love doing it. Maybe, finally, we'll see a defender get taken. Maybe they go Bowers. No, they took Maye last year. I don't know. I give up. Oh, it is Bowers. No, they're going to ruin him. No, we were so close to Bowers to the Colts or Rams. The Raiders, you just took a tight end last year. You just took... They're getting a weapon. I guess they just wanted to go BPA. I guess. He is a special player, man. I just Alex saying sneaky athlete alert. I really just like, is Luke Getzey going to get creative in how he uses him? We'll see. I guess if you have Mayer there, Mayer's the more traditional inline guy, and you can just do whatever the heck you want with Bowers. That makes sense, I guess, right? Oh, he knew. He had the Raiders hat. I mean, they called him, obviously, but good for Brock. Special player. We'll see how he goes, right? They've got Devontae, Jacoby Myers, Mayer, and Brock Bowers. Like, that's a fun group of pass catchers. You know, BPA. They had bigger needs, but they're going BPA. All that for Gardner Minshew. Oh, boy. The Raiders just fascinate me. And I honestly respect it, right? The Raiders as an organization always think they're just one move away. Like, they just always think they're so close. And maybe one day it'll actually work out for them. They get Brock Bowers. That was like another pick. Just no one had it on their radar. That's crazy. Brock Bowers. All right, the Saints are on the clock. This has got to be Fuaga. I mean, I've been beating this drum since I've started doing mocks or projections or whatever, right? They need a tackle in the worst way. Fuaga is still there. Take Talisa Fuaga and just move on with your day. Wow. Gardner X Bowers is the new Brady Gronk. No, it's better. You don't get it, man. It's going to be even better. Oh, man. Sin City is no longer cold and empty after this pick. Oh, man. Gardner's going to feed next season? We'll see. I mean, shoot. We'll see, I guess. I watched a weird amount of Colts games last year. What is going on? This is insane. This is truly one of the most chaotic drafts I think I've ever seen. It might be. I mean, we always come in with these ideas of what are going to happen, right? Like my brain is just so big. I see all the different realities. My eyes are wide open. And by pick 8, it's just all out the window. By pick 8, you're yelling at your TV. You're dumbfounded. You're just confused. You're scared. Like I'm a little like, it's a scary world that I'm like losing grasp on reality right now from these picks. Oh my goodness. This league, man, this is why the NFL is the greatest league in the world, right? We're out here having the time of our lives, to quote Sergio Dip, having the time of our lives, watching the commissioner read names off a card. And we're losing our freaking minds over it. This is crazier than draft day. Forget David Putney or Brian Drew or Bo Callahan or Vontae Mack or any of that. We are watching a real life draft day. This is truly a modern classic. The Vikings have another pick. I mean, we still get to pick again. You know what? Keep taking those offensive players. Oh, if Latu fell to us. Oh, baby. Or if one of Johnny Newton or Byron Murphy, right? I mean, J.J. McCarthy, Byron Murphy, like that's like the dream, right? Holy smokes, man. Keep taking offensive players. Let us get a new toy for Flores. Oh. Give us a big dog for B-Flow. Oh my goodness. Gracious almighty. The Falcons took Michael Penix. Why? Like truly, I am going to like watch their press conference. I just want to know what their reasoning is. I just want to know, like, did the ancient voices overpower, like, Terry fought? No, let the voices take control. The Saints still haven't picked yet, by the way. Only one trade so far. The Brock Bowers to the Rams dream is dead. That's okay. It was fun for like the 3 hours while it lasted. Jack saying we're all still dumbfounded about the Falcons pick. I think the entire world is. I mean, it's crazy. Todd Bowles is laughing. Remember that video? The Eagles took Jalen Reagor, and the Vikings front office just started laughing. They're like, well, all right, let's just pick Justin Jefferson, I guess. How? Yeah. DJ saying tackle. I agree with you, my man, right? They still haven't picked yet. I mean, could we see a trade for a receiver here? I mean, we've heard rumblings about like the Jaguars trying to get a guy. You know, Brian Thomas has been a name on some teams' radars. The Bills have been maybe in the market to trade up for a receiver, but who knows? Man. Rich Eisen can't believe it. They're talking about the Penix pick still, and I don't blame them. They didn't tell Kirk they were going to do that. They're trying to do the Jordan. They're going to make Kirk mad. We're going to get angry Kirk. Like, are they seriously that scared about the Achilles? Like, if that's the case, then why are you paying him that much money? I get the whole, oh, we want his successor. We're taking a risk with Kirk. But you had the 8th pick. You could have gotten the best defender in the draft. You could have gotten the top defender on your board. You are trying to win right now. Bijan and London and Pitts are not going to be cheap forever. You do not have all this time. Now is the time to go. Oh my goodness. No. The console is not automatically turning off in 5 minutes. And for those that don't know, I've got the draft up on my Xbox right now because my monitors don't have a speaker. And I think I said this at the beginning of the stream, but I had to hook up my Xbox to my TV, bring my TV down to my desk so I could hear the draft. And also, it's just a bigger screen, right? More screens, more stimulation. It's good for me, right? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Parachamp saying the Falcons are just trying to copy the Packers so Kirk can get back-to-back MVP seasons. Is that the new NFL's meta? Just make your quarterback mad? In that case, dude, I don't know. We signed Sam Darnold, and we just brought in J.J. McCarthy. Sam Darnold's probably... Get ready for Demon Sam Darnold, you know? Michael says they thought Arthur Smith was still the head coach. Tough look. Hey, he's your OC now. I stand with Arthur Smith. I think he's going to do a decent job in Pittsburgh. All right, the pick has been in for like 9 minutes now. Fuaga. Come on, give me Fuaga. Give me another point here. I'm trying to rack up these points. I'll have to come up with a punishment if I don't hit my goal of 12, which isn't looking too hot. Do like an ice bucket challenge or something. I don't know. J.J. McCarthy is a Viking. We'll take it. I'm not mad, man. You know, it's fun to cling to the dream of Drake May, but it was never going to happen. But we will take J.J. McCarthy. Give me the upside. All right. Saints pick is in. Let's see it. Show me what you got, Mickey Loomis. Yeah, let's go. It's Fuaga. Boom. Let's go. All right. Nailed that one. Gotta say. I don't know why my mouse isn't working still. I don't think I nailed his name because Roger said it differently than how I've been saying it. That is a full point right there, right? I mean, it just makes... We've known this the whole time. They've needed a quarterback, or excuse me, they kind of need a quarterback too, but they needed a tackle. Ryan Ramczyk's a very good right tackle, but he legitimately might not play again. There's health concerns there. And Trevor Penning just hasn't worked out, right? They took the project out of the FCS. Aggressive guy just hasn't worked out. Go get Fuaga. Bring back a good tackle to the Saints. I feel like the Saints have been a sneaky team that's like produced a lot of great tackles, great offensive line play. Let's go get another good tackle for the Saints. I like it. That's a good pick right there. That's a great pick. All right. Well. All right. Parachap saying Sam Darnold is a travel QB just like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hey, if we get a little Fitzmagic and Sam Darnold and then we turn it over to the kid, how about it, huh? How about it? How about it? Do not let Mike McDonald have all this power. I am as big of a Mike McDonald respecter as anyone, right? I think the Colts might go defense here, though. Or could they go Brian Thomas? Could they just say, screw it, let's have the sickest offense ever for Anthony Richardson. Let's go get Brian Thomas. Oh, Brian Thomas would be fun. What's Rich saying? What? Whoa, Chris Ballard called it. I don't know who's all watching NFL Network right now. Chris Ballard literally called it. Oh, they're making the call right now. The Colts pick is probably about to be in, right? This is the team of Dr. Pigskin this year. Or bandwagon on to the Colts. Are they going to address defense? Right. They could have their pick of the litter of any corners. We know they need a corner. Could it be Quinyon Mitchell? That's who I've got them taking. Or could they go receiver? Could they go get Brian Thomas and just have a sick receiver room for Anthony Richardson? I would not mind either of those. I think it's going to be Brian Thomas or Quinyon Mitchell. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. Oh, look at JJ looks good in purple. You know what? It just looks right. I'm sorry. Penix is a Falcon. I'm sorry. Terrion Arnold, I could see that, right? It could be definitely whatever corner they like the most or Brian Thomas. The Brock Bowers dream is dead. It was fun. I wanted Bowers to go to the Colts or Rams, but the Raiders, sure. Yeah, what's going on? There's still it's just no defenders taken yet. This has got to be a record, right? Come on. Please let Byron Murphy fall to the Vikings. We need interior defensive line in the worst way. If we can walk out of here with J.J. McCarthy and the top interior defender, oh, slam dunk. We'll take it. That would justify the trade to get pick 23 for me. If we can get Byron Murphy or Johnny Newton, that would totally justify it. Or if we want to go corner, I get that. I'm kind of high on the Vikings corner room, though. I think our secondary is fine. I wouldn't hate trying to go for depth later, although we don't have many later picks now anymore. All right. J.J. McCarthy is our quarterback. You know what? I just might have to do something a little crazy. I just might have to go to this Vikings-Falcons game in Minneapolis this year. I just might have to. We'll see. The clock is still ticking. Like, I know they showed the Colts War Room cheering. Or were they just like, yeah, we're on TV? Oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man. This draft. Something else. Okay, it's under 2 minutes. Terrion Arnold is Jack's guess. How's your mock been going so far, Jack? I know you had yours. You're keeping track. Oh, we should have done a little friendly competition. Maybe next year we'll have to do that. I'll come up with a draft comp or something. You know, a little friendly competition. Friendly reminder that Penix is a Falcon. Oh boy. 6 quarterbacks in the first 12 picks. The Colts could have their pick of the litter for defense. Mock draft started off hot and is completely shattered. It's honestly, it's like getting a perfect bracket, right? Like, has anyone gotten a perfect mock before? There's no way, right? We're heating up a little bit over here. We're starting to stack some points up. If we get Quinyon, we're on a bit of a streak. I think we could. I think we could hit a little bit of a streak here in these teens. I don't know. We'll see. Thank goodness I'm not going to be highlighting this one. I mean, honestly, if we got Penix at 23, I would have been like, whatever. I would have given my speech about how the Vikings are never going to take a big swing at a quarterback. But not anymore. No, we're taking a decent-sized swing. What is taking the Colts so long? Like, truly. Like, the pick has been in. Roger, like, trip? There he is. There he is. I know he's been dealing with his injury. Right? No hugs this year. It's kind of sad. Friendly daps. That was what the rule was. But, all right, here we go, Colts. Come on. Come on, Chris. Get us a playmaker. Oh, audio crazy. Oh! Wow, they go Latu. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. They go edge. They really do feel good about their corners, don't they? I mean, I'm not hating it. Like, you could never have too many pass rushers. I really do think he is the best edge in the class. That is just shocking to me that it's the Colts that take him. That's crazy. All right. Look at that. Good for the Colts. For the shoe. Let's go, Colts, baby. Let's go. All right. Wow. Got Gabe in here saying JJ McCarthy. JJ. Let's go. Hey. We were on this beat for a while, right? We knew JJ was going to be a Viking. I will take it. I will take it. All right. Lock in. The Seattle Seahawks, the team of Jack, are on the clock. Let's go crazy. All right. It's got to be a defender, right? It's got to be a defender. There's still so many options out there. This is a Mike McDonald team. Get Mike McDonald a toy, right? Get him a toy for his Playhouse of Fun. Jack spitballing. We got a lot of different good options for him. We really do. Michael saying, please, Seattle, you know you want Graham Barton. Hey, in this channel, we respect Graham Barton, offensive lineman extraordinaire, as James Gannan put it. We do like Graham Barton a good bit. What if it's Troy? T is in Troy. Phones are ringing. Interesting. We do not have an inside scoop, do we? There's no way, right? That's, we'll see. Phones are ringing. Oh, could you imagine if the Vikings? No. Or maybe there's a certain crew that's trying to storm the shores. And, I don't know. There's no way that I don't think that that's allowed. But the phones are ringing. Interesting. Well, as of right now, the Seahawks are on the clock. Maybe I'm being pranked again. I still cannot believe that I got absolutely boomed by my own chat with Bo Nix. All-time Dr. Pigskin moment right there. This has been an all-time stream, I gotta say. I am very pleased with how things are shaking out here. You know, again, my Latu take, he's a little bit one-dimensional. Not quite as good, maybe setting the edge in the run game, but goodness gracious, he can get after the quarterback. And as much as I raved about Fuaga's tape against Latu, how about Latu's tape against USC? One of the best games by defender all season. He was a demon in that game. Absolute demon. Ring, ring. Let John Schneider call your buddy 3 times in a sentence. Ring, ring. This draft is insane. ESPN saying this draft is offensive. And if you're a Falcons fan, this draft is offensive. Oh, boy. Man alive, this league. Oh, how can you not love the NFL? All right, the Colts got a speed rusher. They got their next Dwight Freeney. Let's go. Sorry, we got our next Dwight Freeney. I am going to be so obnoxious about the Colts. Watch out. Texans this, Texans that. Don't count out the shoe and blue. All right, well, they've been showing Latu's name the whole time, so they haven't shown the timer for the pick yet, but It's not in yet. Maybe the phones are ringing. Oh, let Arden Dude serenade you with his voice. Good for Latu, man. He seems like a good guy. What's up with like these UCLA pass rushers? I guess it's just him and Jalen Phillips that have been forced to medically retire. I hope unrelated, I hope Jalen Phillips finally stays healthy this year, man. He's such a beast when he's on the field. I've always liked Jaden Phillips. Jalen, goodness gracious. Ever since I had a dream a few years ago, I had a dream that the Vikings drafted him. And so then I started watching him and I was like, this guy's a beast. But he just can't stay on the field. It's so sad, man. He's such a good player. This year he's going to break out for sure. Wow. Okay. Most consecutive offensive players selected. The record is this year with 14. Previous year, or the previous record was 7. In 2021. 7. Huh. Michael saying Texans not losing this division with the good juju sketch will bring them this season. I think he might curse them, right? Hey, what's up, brother? I say that. I have never watched a second of sketch. I'm only like, he's like a Madden streamer, right? I think like this next wave of streamers is really making me start to show my age a little bit, but you know what? He's got the CJ Stroud connection. He's been hanging out with Diggs. Maybe. All right. The pick is in for the Seahawks. Here we go. It's got to be a defender, right? It's got to be a defender. I know I've been on the Troy Fautanu train the whole time, but at this point, with how many good defenders are still there, and this is a Mike McDonald team, and they need defense, I don't know. We'll see. The phones were not. Maybe the phones were ringing for Seattle, and Tampa tried to sneak in, but it didn't happen. Who knows? I might have to clarify that later. I'm interested. I'm not sure if we're allowed to know. If it's interior, it's got to be Troy, right? My man, Troy. If it's offense, it's definitely line, though. But yeah, it's got to be defense. We're getting closer to the next Vikings pick. You know? Not bad. All right. More zen. You know what? I feel a little bit more zen now. I'm not stressed out as much about the Vikings quarterback situation. I appreciate the zen this time, YouTube TV. Look at that beautiful forest, right? It's just a nice reminder that sometimes there's just things bigger than football. Like that beautiful waterfall. Oh, look at that. You could probably stick your hand in there and grab a fish. The birds are chirping. It's nice and peaceful. You sit back, you watch as we now observe a nice fall scene. It's autumn. The leaves are yellow. You smile. There's a cool, crisp bite in the air. It's fall. It's football season. And J.J. McCarthy's our quarterback. It always comes back to football. All right. Okay, Brock Purdy. All right, this is a nice little draft commercial, but oh, they're showing JJ. We've got a young quarterback. Bro, they're showing the same commercial again. They're getting yelled at, right? Everyone's screaming in the production truck right now. Oh. Or is it just a shorter version, I guess? Goodness, this is a long commercial break. Let's check the Twitter machine, shall we? Wow, I can't believe Pretty Ricky on Twitter, the guy with the dog profile, I can't believe he was wrong. Again, I say that like I believed Shredder, right? Like I didn't actually believe him, but it's like, what if they're right? You know, there's just too much time. in the draft cycle. We believe these Twitter accounts. Oh, man. All right. All right. Seahawks pick is in. Let's go, Jack. Oh, you got a little Army commercial going on.
48 miles from adversaries.
To defend the freedom of 51 million people.
Oh, Blitz. Hey, like the Seahawks mascot. Oh, look at the 12 flags. All right. Here we go. Oh, they're still booing. That's crazy.
In the United States military, your sacrifices to defend our country's freedom do not go unnoticed. Thank you so much. With the 16th
Here we go. All right. Here we go.
NFL draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Byron Murphy.
No! No! Good pick. Hey, good pick. Good pick. Good pick, Seahawks. No! Good pick. No! Good pick. You know what? That's okay. Wait, what? Wait. Hold on. Did I hear that right? No, we just missed Byron. Who are we trading up for? We're trading up. We're trading up. Oh, the phones really were ringing. Oh my gosh. All right, who are we going to get? Come on. Defense. 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 All right. You know, Dallas Turner is out there still, right? We could, all right, yeah, we could have a pretty good three-headed monster of edge if we go Dallas Turner. We got Van Ginkel and Grenard. It's got to be interior, though, right? I mean, it's just such a weakness, right? Do we go Johnny Newton or do we go corner? Like, we could totally go corner here. Here's what I'll say, though, right? And I'm hyped that we're trading up. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's sick. We're just not going to pick, like, ever again. We just, like, the Vikings will just not pick. The phones were ringing. Oh, that's crazy. How did you have the scoop? You had the scoop. We had been scooped. That's crazy, the Vikings. The Vikings pick is in. Who could it be? Honestly, low-key, what if it was Troy Fautanu? Our interior offensive line is still weak. Yeah, I kind of want Troy Fautanu. I'm not going to lie. I would, like, okay, defense would be nice. Oh, we could get a sick guard. Just have an insane offensive line. You know what? I don't think we're going to do it, though. I think we're going to go defense, right? I think the whole reason we got this second pick was so we could go quarterback and then also address the defense. We move up from 23 to 17. Who do we like? Who do we like? Who do we like? It's got to be defense, but if we went Fautanu, I would not complain. If we got a high-level guard, we could use it. We could use it. All right. Oh, it's a quick pick. It's a quick turnaround. All right. So true, games. Go draft someone good. Oh, wow. We traded to 17. All right.
With the 17th pick in the 2024 NFL draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Dallas Turner.
All right. All right. We got an edge. We got an edge. All right. I can't hate that. You know what? We'll take it. We got a nice rotation of Gernard, Dallas Turner, and Van Ginkel. That's pretty good. All right. Oh, he looks happy about it. He's going to play it cool. He's probably ticked, honestly, that he fell to 17. Also, I don't know him, so like I just don't know him as a person. Well, get fired up. All right, Dallas Turner. Get the long-armed guy with, again, high upside. You hope Flores can... All right. All right. You know what? We got it. We got a toy for Brian Flores. Jealous of our picks, yet happy with our own at the same time. I think I would have rather had Byron Murphy, but I'm not going to complain about getting... I mean, if you would have told me pre-draft we're walking out of here with Dallas Turner and J.J. McCarthy, I'm over the moon. So that's good, you know? Again, he is a slight bit of a project, but there's just so many tools there. Ridiculously long arms. Great athlete. Production not quite as high as some of the other Bama edges. But B-Flow, work your magic, man. If we could get a nice pass rush, I mean, it was rough outside of Hunter. We now definitely have a better pass rush this year than we did last year. That's a good pick. All right, I'm happy with this first round. J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner. We did a good job. All right, good job, Quasi. Good job. Good draft for the Vikings. Let's go. Turner. Flores. Let's go. All right. Good for us. Thank you, Games. I appreciate that. It is a heck of a draft. You know what? The Vikings and Jags traded each other. We believe we gave up a few, like it was like a third and a fourth or something. Like you guys get a lot of extra picks. I think they're next year's picks. We truly are not going to be drafting very much from now on. Like, we don't have any second round picks. I don't think we have any third round picks. Like, enjoy this because this is one of the few times we'll see the Vikings draft for the next 2 years. Let's see what Dallas Turner has to say. All right. Good answer. He's laughing. He's happy to be a Viking. You know what? He was just so... His face was blank because he was so emotional. He's laughing. He's happy to be a Viking. Yeah. In Quasi we trust. All right. You know what? We did a pretty good job. Not bad. We will take it. All right. A little scoop indeed. That's crazy. I don't know if you're allowed to disclose this, but I am genuinely curious how you're able to get a hold of such a scoop. That is crazy. NFC North is going to be a gauntlet, man. It is going to be a dogfight. Oh, man. All right. Pick 17 for 23, 167, and a 2025 third and 2025 fourth. Holy crap. Yeah, shout out Alex right there coming through with the chat. Jack saying, I'm just happy the Seahawks picked correct in my mock draft. Yeah, look at that. Hey, look at that. All right. You know what? We kind of went all in on this draft. We got the quarterback. We got the edge. Oh, man. Wow. I cannot believe we got Dallas Turner. I'm like in shock, genuinely. You know? Whatever. We just, like, forget it. Forget interior defensive line. More like in schmear your schmefensive schmine. You know what? Harrison Phillips is going to do it all by himself up the middle. And our pass rush is going to be so sick it won't matter. And Ivan Pace running downhill. He's wearing number 0 now. This could be a pretty good defense. I'm excited to see what B-Flow's got cooked up now. Oh, man. All right. Maybe we'll do the thing where, like, we put one of our interior, like, I don't know. We'll see. Put an edge up the middle. Nah, we don't quite have the size to do that. You know what? In Brian we trust. It's going to be Jerry Tillery and Jonathan Bullard and Harrison Phillips. That's okay. Bengals are on the clock. Could they go Brian Thomas? They might need a receiver. Here's what I'll say. I'm glad we've got to the Bengals now. I can talk about this. I'm sure you guys have all seen at this point that both T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson requested trades from the Bengals. I don't know that that's going to happen. I think I've said this before, but the Bengals are typically an organization under this ownership. They do not listen to trade requests. They let their guys walk. They prioritize just getting that extra year as opposed to like trying to get something in return. And I honestly think that that's the right call for the spot that they're in right now, right? You look at like maybe you feel like that window's closing a little bit with Burrow starting to get paid and you're going to have to pay Chase and you might lose Higgins next year. Like you got to go this year, right? You got to be as good of a team as you can be. You might get a little bit of draft capital back for T. Higgins. Sick. Wouldn't you just rather want one more year of T. Higgins? I mean, again, this is the team that they didn't trade Jesse Bates. They just kept him one more year and they let him walk. They didn't listen to AJ Green's trade request. They just kept him one more year and let him walk. I mean, Carson Palmer like retired because the Bengals wouldn't trade him, and then eventually they did. But like they do not do that. So I would be surprised if they got rid of Higgins and Hendrickson. I will say if they do, I honestly think losing Trey Hendrickson would be a bigger deal than losing Higgins. Because that pass rush is going to be brutal if they lose Hendrickson. And he's such a good player. I don't know, man. We'll see. Michael does not want them to take Brian Thomas. You got the Steelers fan talking here. That makes sense, right? All right, since you know what to do, go defense here. Continue to neglect your own line and do not draft Brian Thomas Jr. It could be edge. They could go Johnny Newton. That's actually who I have them down for. They did lose DJ Reader. Johnny Newton's a little bit different player than DJ Reader was, but they're another team that lost a lot in the interior. I don't know that they go edge, especially with Dallas Turner gone now. And, you know, they did take Miles Murphy in the first round last year, so they might just hope he can step up if they lose Hendrickson, and you hope Sam Hubbard can stay healthy. And again, I really don't think they're trading Trey Hendrickson. They have all the leverage with that. Hendrickson still got 2 years left on his deal. I mean, he just signed an extension. They totally could go wide receiver here, though, if they fear they're going to lose Higgins. And they just could use another one anyway. I mean, Tyler Boyd's not the guy he once was. And again, I just really think you have to maximize your window here if you're the Bengals. Pearchamp asking if they win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. I think the clock is ticking. I think they've got a few years with this core here. Things will change. Let's see what this pick is, though. Whoa! Whoa! They went with Mims. Whoa! Hey, go Dogs, right? This is a guy that I've always been high on. Unreal talent. Just hasn't really had the reps. I mean, I think he only has 800 snaps in his entire career. But when he's been out on the field, he has been ridiculously good. I mean, he flashes in every game that he plays. And just he's got the size and the athleticism that you can't teach. You need a little bit of refinement. Offensive line has just been a problem for so long. And I like it. It's interesting. I don't hate it. That's exactly what Caden said at the exact same time. The reason I say that, right, I was a little hesitant to mock the Bengals with a tackle simply because they went out and got Orlando Brown Jr. last year. And then they signed Trent Brown in free agency this offseason. And I think, honestly, Trent Brown and Orlando Brown's not the greatest, and you still worry about Burrow's health, but like they poured a lot of resources into that. Like maybe they go elsewhere. But Trent Brown's on a 1-year deal, right? Mims can probably sit most of the year. And he's a developmental guy. He'll probably need a little bit more refinement, right? He could totally sit for a year, and then next year, all right, we're going to plug him in. We think that he has the ceiling of maybe being one of the best players in this entire class if he can reach that potential. So, again, Trent Brown's not going to be there probably more than a year, and Orlando Brown just isn't really that good, to be quite honest. I know they gave him that big contract, but they're probably going to try and get out of that as soon as they can. And just with how much Joe Burrow's been beat up over and over and over again, and he keeps getting hurt last year, and it's just been a recurring issue for his entire career. Sure, go get a tackle, right? Take a big swing while you can sit him. So I don't hate that. They could have gone corner. They could have gone tackle, like defensive tackle. They could have gone wide receiver, but everyone's always mocked them with an offensive tackle. They end up going with Mims, the project. He goes 18. Look at that. All right. The Rams are on the clock. Whose house? Rams' house. Let's go. My other bandwagon team. Who are they going to go with? I don't think they'll go Brian Thomas here, right? I would have loved Bowers because, I mean, Higbee, he got hurt in the playoffs. And he's just such a unique player that I feel like McVay could have utilized him. There was that Diana Rossini report. They were trying to trade into the top 10. Couldn't quite do it. I think it could be Johnny Newton here, though. That was something I was talking about a lot earlier, right? You lose Aaron Donald. You can't possibly replace him. But you can come as close as possible with Johnny Newton, I guess, right? You got to recoup your losses somehow. But I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what the Rams go with here. I think it's got to be defense. But as they've always been saying, there's no way that Sean McVay's first ever first-round pick isn't going to be on offense. So I guess we'll see, won't we? But they do have enough talent at the skill positions. And Jack is saying Rams are definitely taking Arnold here. I could see corner. They did put a lot into it in free agency. Right, they bring back Darius Williams. They also signed Trey White. Trey White's maybe more of a stopgap solution. Definitely not the player he once was. I could see Arnold. I could see a corner here still. A corner is much improved from last year, though. We've got Henry back in here, too, saying back in here. Still not out of my depression. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, man, I am so terribly sorry. Like, I like forgot that happened for a second, and now I've been reminded again. And I am like genuinely devastated for the Falcons. I will say, like, I have a soft spot for the Falcons. I like the Falcons. They were one of my favorite teams as a kid with Matt Ryan and Roddy White. I don't know what to say. Maybe they trade back into the first and get a defender. I don't know what to say, man. This has been a crazy draft, but you know what? I'm glad that you're back in here. Welcome back to the Dr. Pigskin stream. We're having a time. The Rams pick is in. Johnny Newton, right? Johnny Newton no matter what. I don't hate Arnold, though. Terrion Arnold is a guy that has been kind of all over the place as where he could go. I mean, Peter Schrager had him going 11 to the Vikings. We'll see. Oh, here comes the Aaron Donald comp for Johnny Newton. It's inevitable, right? He's not going to be Aaron Donald, obviously, but he can at least play a similar role. He's at least got a similar play style. I'm turning down the brightness on my computer a little bit because it's not charging. When I stream sometimes, it doesn't always charge. Like, it just says it's plugged in but not charging. I think it's because OBS uses so much juice, right? And it's just running so many different things right now. But love the Turner pick, by the way. Thank you. You know what? I think, okay. And this is probably just a me problem, right? I am very fired up about getting Dallas Turner. Like, our pass rush is going to be sick. I am shocked that he fell that far. Again, like, another very high upside guy, but you trust the coaching staff. Like, I just trust that Brian Flores can make it work. I think the reason why it's like, yeah, I'm excited. That's a great pick and not, let's go Dallas Turner, is because I am still, and again, this is just a me problem and like, who cares? Dude, I'm so worried about our interior defensive line. Like, it is, it was quarterback and interior defensive line were the two glaring weaknesses on the Vikings. Honestly, outside of that, there's not a lot of glaring weaknesses. Like, this is a pretty good looking roster. I get we lost out on Byron Murphy, and I guess, like, maybe we'll just take Tavondre Sweat a few rounds later, like I was pounding the table for. I'm a little concerned about the interior, but man, our pass rush is going to be sick, and I'm going to choose to focus on that instead. All right, Rams pick. Here we go. I like the Turner pick, but Jared Verse. Okay. You know what? I don't hate that. Interesting. So it makes sense that they don't go Johnny Newton and they go edge a little bit more instead, right? Because, they've got Byron Young and Kobe Turner, but they had Michael Hoyt out there getting serious snaps last year. Michael Hoyt actually was one of the guys that saw the field the most for him. So I can get you want to replace Hoyt with Verse. I like Jared Verse a lot. I think he's a very polished, powerful player, and I like those big defensive ends that put their hand in the dirt and can set their edge a little bit, and he's very powerful. They don't make too many defensive ends like him these days. There's a lot more either speed guys or they're speedy and they're big. But you know what? I don't hate that. Jared Verse to the Rams. And at this point, whatever Les Snead does, I just trust it's gonna work. He just knows how to make good picks in the draft. Look at that. Les Snead is dapping his guys up. The Rams war room. Why is there a Texas hoodie in there? I don't know. But all right, a little bit of a shocker. But Jared Verse. All right, so there's another edge. So now the top 3 edges are gone. Maybe Chop Robinson sneaks into the first round. He's the consensus edge 4 of the class, I would say. Interesting. All right. Hey, let's go, Michael. Steelers are on the clock. Wave those terrible towels. Let's go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Pittsburgh on the clock. I wonder if it's going to be Brian Thomas here. What's interesting is that he doesn't seem to be quite as much of a receiver that, he's not the type of receiver that the Steelers need as much, right? They've got the big physical, big play X receiver in George Pickens. What they need is the separator. What they need is Deontay Johnson, who they traded. Honestly, this would probably be a reach. They could trade back if they wanted him probably. The Steelers could unironically use Ladd McConkey. He would make a lot of sense for what Pittsburgh needs, the type of player that he is. A good comp for him is Deontay. But I think 20 might be a little bit rich. You could trade back 5 or 6 spots and get him. But I don't know who would want to trade up. Michael's saying, what if Arnold falls to Philly? Let's go get him. I mean, you could go corner realistically, right? You got Joey Porter Jr. You got him last year, and he showed a lot. But Patrick Peterson, not a ton outside of that. Didn't they get rid of Patrick Peterson? They've got Dante Jackson. Is he even gonna make the team? He was the player they got in the Deontay trade, but hoping for an Ayuk trade. I don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't think it's gonna happen. We'll see. Terrion Arnold so would fall to Philly. I have it right here on my sheet, right? Of course. And everyone's going to be like, Howie Roseman, how does he do it? He's so perfect. Oh, the Eagles can do no wrong. They know what they're doing every time. They are the greatest organization in sports. We'll see. Sorry if there's any Eagles fans in here. They actually are a really well-run organization, but I'm still hurt from 2017, as lame as that is. I know I should let it go, but I won't. Pick is in, so no Ayuk. Yeah, sorry, man. I just don't think it's gonna. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, though. It could be Brian Thomas. They could just say, you know what, speed, size, and power. I don't know that they're taking a wide receiver. Pittsburgh's MO has always been just getting a guy in day 2 and he turns out to be good. They'll get the guy that slips through the cracks a little bit. I don't think it's a given they go receiver here, even though it's probably their biggest need. And I tell you what, they do that and it works. They always hit. They always hit. It's crazy. I could see them going defense maybe, or O-line. Who knows? I had Mims going here. I thought that would have been a good fit too. Oh, Mims and Broderick Jones on the offensive line. Not to be, though. It's because the Niners aren't getting a first for Ayuk, I hope. Oh, not at this point. Unless, no, there's no way that the Jaguars make the trade, right? No, there's no way. Maybe. No, there's no way. Impossible. I would lose my mind. Oh, man. Holy crap. What? 275,000 fans in attendance? That is insanity. That is bonkers. What? That's like a North Korea rally. Like, oh my gosh. Whoa. And out to announce the Steelers pick, it's Kim Jong-il. Or Kim Jong-un, sorry. It's like a North Korea rally is crazy. Oh boy. Let's get the pick in. Michael thinking they take Graham Barton. Interesting. I could see it, right? Hey, this is an Arthur Smith coordinated team now, right? Go get some dudes in the trenches. I like what the Steelers have been building with their offensive line. I thought they'd started playing a lot better once they brought in Broderick Jones and put him at right tackle. Big fan of Isaac Seumalo, but still a little bit of work to be done. Not quite as deep 1 through 5. This is a team that I think is going to run the ball a lot with Najee and Jalen Warren. I almost forgot his name for a sec. That was working for me when they did that a lot at the end of the year last year. So we'll see. NFL grades, yeah, we'll see that later. Vikings A+, of course, obviously. Come on, let's get the. They're talking about Broderick right now. Maybe they move him to left tackle, right? You could do that. I could see that, but then you bring in the guy and you have him play right tackle. I said we were gonna start hitting a streak with these picks. Not quite happening. You know, that's okay. We're having a good time though. We're here for the vibes. That's Cam Hayward. Look at that. Wait, why did the Steelers get to bring out a player for their pick? Why couldn't we have Justin Jefferson read our pick and be like, by the way, I'm signing forever. 10 years, $2. I'm going to be the first ever player to volunteer. I suppose he did win Walter Payton Man of the Year. That's fair. That is fair. All right. I'm a terrible person. I almost had a 2022 draft moment. If you know, you know. I'm not going to elaborate any further than that. And it wasn't me that did it, by the way. That's all I'm going to say. But if you know, you know. If Henry's in here, he knows. And obviously, you know what? No, I'm going to stop talking. That was a good speech. Look at that. I like that. All right. Who's it going to be? Oh! Oh! They do go O-line. One of my favorite players in the draft. All right. Pittsburgh building up the line. By all the stocks of Jalen Warren. Oh, let's go. All right. That's awesome. I love that pick. The Jags could get... Oh, if the Jags could trade down and still get Brian Thomas, that's a certified W. Look at that. I love the Elijah Vera Tucker comp. Could reasonably play him at tackle or guard, right? He's got those long arms. Bit smaller in stature, very quick, which leads you to believe guard, but he played very well at tackle at Washington. And again, those long arms, he can kick outside a little bit. Look at that pass block rep right there. All right. How is Arthur going to use him? I'm excited to see how Arthur Smith cooks up with Troy Fautanu. Let's go. All right, I like that pick. How you feeling, Michael? Arthur Smith's mouth is watering. You know what? The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to run the freaking football, and I'm here for it, right? This is old school Pittsburgh steel curtain, terrible towels out in the rain. It's 30 degrees. It's the fourth quarter. You're tired. You don't want to try and tackle Najee Harris. Another run up the middle. Another run up the middle. Outside zone with Jalen Warren, 30 yards into the red zone. Another run up the middle. Touchdown, Steelers. Let's go. Oh, that looks like a sick draft party. Yeah, injuries, sminjuries. Oh, this is one of my favorite players in the draft. He's just so unbelievably quick. His lateral quickness is unbelievable. All right. The Dolphins on the clock. And their pick is in. I could see this being a spot for Graham Barton. He's another one of those guys that played in a very zone-heavy scheme in college, right? And Mike McDaniel, more than anyone else, loves to run those outside zone runs, right? They did lose a lot on their offensive line. Guyton's another guy that you could play on the interior or at tackle, right? They lose Robert Hunt. So maybe they recoup some of their losses. We'll see. I think Jackson Powers Johnson is another one that's in play. I know Dolphins Twitter has been all over him. He is a center, which isn't as always glamorous of a first-round pick, but, you know. Although they did bring in Aaron Brewer, which I thought was interesting, and they paid him a decent amount of money, which leads me to believe that maybe Aaron Brewer is going to be their starting center. But who knows, man? Who knows? Michael Penix, Falcons QB, and Troy's teammate at UW. The Atlanta Falcons took Michael Penix. Michael Penix. Michael. I should have named the stream Michael Penix no matter what, man. Oh my goodness. Oh man. All right. I'm looking at the trade chart right now for the Vikings Jaguars trade. The charts say we got fleeced. But you know what? We got a good player. I don't know. Oh man. Who cares about the charts? We did pay a lot to move up that much. Oh well. Who cares? We got a quarterback and an edge. All right. Pearchamp saying, be fun if the Packers got Kool-Aid McKinstry. I just like the name. You know what? Yeah, right. And it would continue the trend of the Packers taking those Alabama DBs with fun names, right? I do think there's a very good chance that they go DB here, right? I have them taking a DB, so very much in play. Probably one of their biggest needs, if not their biggest need, and especially with a lot of the tackles gone now, makes a lot of sense. Screw the charts indeed, right? You know what? I think this could be, you're right, it can be a win-win trade. Beneficial for both teams, assuming the Jaguars know how to draft. I think you guys could end up getting Brian Thomas Jr. after trading down. Dare I say we might be seeing a Trent Baalke W. We'll see. He's kind of managing for his life right now. He's kind of on thin ice, in my opinion. I think you would probably, I think we've had some Trent Baalke talks before. He's probably on thinner ice than Dougie P. I know I was like, oh, Doug Peterson needs to answer for his crimes. Trent Baalke's been worse. All right. We're back. Dolphins pick is in. Whew. Let's just hope that this SEC defender that the Vikings traded for goes a little bit better than the last one. Lewis Seen was rough. Jags Twitter's going to go full 180 after this. I swear, man, if you guys walk out of here with Brian Thomas Jr. and all that extra draft capital, that is a Baalke masterclass. It really is. You know, Baalke misses a lot, But the times that he's right, he is right. He will hit the occasional home run. There's Mike McDaniel. If Logic was a head coach. Tyreek Hill wondering who we taking today. Boo. Yeah, it could be corner, I guess. I mean, they did just bring in Jalen Ramsey. I don't know. They've got Kohu and Ramsey. Maybe. Could they take Johnny Newton? Now, they lost Christian Wilkins. But, I don't know. They need a bigger guy. Johnny Newton's a bit smaller as far as an interior guy. Why do I feel like Balky's going to draft Xavier Worthy? Oh, don't even put that thought in my head. He's so going to do that, isn't he? He's going to see that 40 time and do it. Oh, no. Why did you even put that thought in my head? Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Well, let's see this Dolphins pick. Or the Dolphins could take him. Who knows? Whoa, Chop Robinson. All right. They did need an edge, right? They lost my man, Andrew Van Ginkel. Jalen Phillips can't stay on the field. They brought in Bradley Chubb, who's been pretty good for him, though. I think they have bigger needs than edge. I don't know. It's all right. Oh, that's cool. His college coach is there. I guess developmental guy, right? You can sit him and then hope he replaces Bradley Chubb. Interesting. Interesting. I just feel like the Dolphins have bigger needs. I don't know, man. I don't know. You had some good linemen there. I don't know. I don't hate. I'm not gonna hate pretty much any pick except for maybe one that happened at 8. But like, who knows, right? The Dolphins probably know more. Michael says, Howie Simps, get ready. Lock in. Let's watch the best general manager in the NFL do his work. Again, I say this. Howie is very good at his job. Most of it is deserved. It was a tiny bit annoying last year. I'll say that. Especially, again, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know, being on UGA's campus too when they're just taking Georgia players. It's just a tiny bit annoying. Oh, just a tiny bit. Cooper to Gene to Philly. Howie do it. How did you do it? Also, I'm gonna expose myself as a casual here. I swear I've watched him, right? I watched the all 22, not the broadcast. This is gonna be terrible. It's DeJean, right? Or is it DeJean? Because I've heard both. And I'm a little scared. That's why I haven't been saying his name as much, because I don't want to get it wrong and be a non-ball knower. It's DeJean, right? Or is it DeJean, like the mustard? I don't know. I've been waiting for the commissioner to say his name because I honestly think that he could be the pick here, right? Philly's got to go secondary. Could be Terrion Arnold. It's going to be Terrion Arnold. It has to be. Hey, Doctor, remind us who went at 8 to what team? Oh. I think we all know who. It is DeJean. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right, we've been saying his name right. Let's go. DeJean. Okay, perfect. Whew. No need to say his last name. Just say that one white cornerback and we'll understand. Riley Moss, baby. Let's go. Riley Moss. The Packers will draft him. That's where I have him, right? The Packers love those Iowa white boys. Brian Bulaga, Lucas Van Ness. Could Cooper DeJean be the next? Oh, man. I would put money on this being Terrion Arnold, unless it's a trade. They're taking a while. Nah. They got to go corner. Like, it was a problem for him. Wow. So there's some buzz that Arthur Blank intervened at the last minute. No, he's like the owner in draft day. People pay to get wet. Defense doesn't make a splash. Oh my gosh. If you guys haven't watched Draft Day, please go watch it. Oh man. All right. The pick is in. Philly. Gotta be corner. It was such a problem. That James Bradbury contract was not good. Darius Slay has started to decline. I know they brought back CJ Gardner-Johnson, but goodness gracious, they just got abused through the air last season. All right, I'm going to try replugging in my computer because it's getting a little low, and we got to keep this rocking and rolling. Come on. Come on. Why won't it charge? You can see. I don't know if you can see or not up here. Google Chrome is using significant energy. Well, shoot, dude. We'll see. We'll see. We're gonna keep this going as long as we can. All right, we're gonna drag this out. Jaguars are on the clock. Come on, get us back to the good place, right? Come on. We need our Jason Mendoza at wide receiver. Just kidding. Trayvon Walker is Jason Mendoza. If you know, you know, right? We need a Derek at wide receiver. Let's go. Oh. Man. Good times. That was about a year ago. Can you believe that video? I'm excited for my next one. I'll say that. It's coming soon. It'll come after the draft madness because it's not about the draft. But I made this one with love, and I hope you guys will enjoy. I've been teasing it a little bit. You'll just have to wait and see. Bulky's probably going to keep trading down until we have 32 7th-round picks. Hey, that's, that was the old Rick Spielman tactic back when he was the Vikings GM. That's what we did every year, man. We always traded down, traded down, traded down. All right. Let's see this Eagles pick. Don't they realize my computer is using significant energy with Google Chrome? There he is. Look at Roger Goodell showing a little skin. Scandalous. Got the popped collar. Oh, we got Cameron Grant in here. What's going on, Cam? Saying what's up. Should have seen Oscar when they took Penix. That was gold. Oh, dude, I'm sure Oscar was just sick. I truly cannot believe that happened. I mean, I don't know what to say. Hey, how about the Steelers, huh? Going O-line. I kind of like it. Build up that offensive line. Run the ball 80 times with Arthur Smith. I say this unironically. I'm kind of liking the pick. But, we got a quarterback and an edge. So what else can you say? We're going to have a sick system QB and a sick pass rush. All right, let's just say the pick now, Raj. Come on. Yeah, if you have Falcons fans in your life, check in on them. It's, yeah. You're in the Benz? Oh, that's crazy. Whole stadium moans. Oh, man, I can't even imagine. Is everyone just, ticked off right now? Gotta be. Oh, yeah, gotta trust Tomlin. In Mike, we trust. Hey, gotta get that 9-8 season again. Oh, snap. Jordan Mailata on the ocean announcing the pick. It's going to be Terrion Arnold. Oh, Quinyon. Dude, I forgot about him. I forgot he was a person. Quinyon Mitchell. All right, they go get corner. That makes sense. They need one. He's a guy that was getting mocked really high. I mean, I had the Colts taking him over at 15, but another guy that just kind of slipped through the cracks. I mean, that's what happens when you have so many offensive players going. So, I feel like James Bradbury's days may be done very soon here in Philly. Honestly, Darius Slay's too. I mean, Darius Slay kind of escaped most of the criticism because Bradbury was worse, but Slay, big play Slay was kind of giving up big plays last year. All right, you know what? Howie did it again, man. He did it again. He did it again. You know what? I believe it or not, I hope JJ is good too. You know, the haters are just gonna be so mad, right? I don't know. We have the team to get the most out of him, but that is a pick, Howie. You know, Caden's fired up. Cooper DeJean falls another spot, getting closer to the Packers. Games really liked him, but hey, Brian Thomas. I would have been shocked too if the Jaguars could have traded back and got Quinyon Mitchell. I think at this point, if you're Jacksonville, you got to take Brian Thomas. I don't know that they really anticipated he was going to. Well, maybe they did anticipate. That's why they traded down, right? Us streamers and YouTubers, we didn't see it coming, but that doesn't mean that the guys in the war room didn't see it coming. Uh-oh, my battery's red. Not good. A little scary. All right. 10%. Come on. Let's hold the line for the rest of the first round. All right. Quinyon Mitchell at 22. That is a good pick. It's got to be Brian Thomas, right? Like, whatever. He's wide receiver 4, and there's maybe a gulf between him and the top 3. But he's so talented. And again, like LSU just churns out these great receivers like nobody's business. 6'3", insanely fast. Maybe not quite as refined as Neighbors. Doesn't have quite as nice of a route tree, but I don't know. Although the Jaguars did get Gabe Davis. And as much as you might laugh and be like, Gabe Davis, like, they would be playing a similar role. Like, there is a little bit of overlap between those two players. And even though Brian Thomas definitely has the chance to be better than Gabe Davis, like, you need some diversity in your wide receiver core. So they might not take Brian Thomas. The pick is in. We'll see. I could totally be wrong, and it's Brian Thomas all along, but then we got the Cowboys after that. They're anyone's guess. I have them taking A.D. Mitchell, which, again, another guy that like projects to be an X receiver. They've got CD in the slot. Brandon Cooks is kind of a question mark at this point in his career. He was fine last year, and then they've got Jalen Tolbert. Like, you could totally get another wide receiver. They're all in though, right? Hey, all in. Agreed, somewhat similar roles. But again, if they took Brian Thomas, like, it's just like, okay, Brian Thomas is probably better than Gabe Davis, so you can't hate that. It could be Xavier Worthy. No, there's no way. There's no way. There's no chance. What if Brian Thomas fell to the Bills at 28? Oh, man. That would be something. Right? In my silly little mock that I made, I had them trading up to 12 for him. But no, let's take Bo Nix at 12 instead. Oh, man. Pick 23. This truly might be the most bonkers first round I think that I've ever seen in my life. Oh, man. Oh, this league, this sport, this game. It just blows your mind in the most beautiful ways. Okay. I checked Twitter very quickly. Shout out Matt Fries on Twitter. One of the best Vikings analysts on Twitter, in my opinion. Very good point. Said food for thought. Kwesi certainly didn't operate in this draft like someone who's expecting just 1 third-round comp pick next year. Maybe he knows something we don't on that front. What was the big talk going into the draft that had to do with Vikings draft picks? The Falcons tampering. And then the NFL said, we're not going to conclude this investigation before the draft. We're going to do it later. Maybe he knows. Again, I don't think we're getting a first-round pick for it. Maybe he knows we're getting a few of those day 2 picks back next year. Maybe Kwesi is seen in 5 dimensions. That is an excellent point. All right, I feel even better about that trade now. We lost in the charts, but we might be getting some of that capital back. Oh! All right. All right, Jaguars pick. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. It's Brian Thomas. It's Brian Thomas. All right. Good place. Good place. Good place. Let's go. Brian Thomas to the Jags. Trevor Lawrence gets another weapon. Thank you, Trent Baalke. Thank you. Game solved is saying thank you. Jack saying that's a dub for Jacksonville. It's Brian Thomas. All right. Here we go. All right. Brian Thomas, Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Evan Ingram. This can work. This can work. Just stay healthy, Trevor. Stay healthy. This can work. This can work. Dare I say I'm back in on the Jaguars just a little bit. Dare I say I'm back in. Don't count them out, man. I don't know, man. Be careful if you count out the Jaguars. Oh, man. Oh, Henry saying if they hit us with the high draft pick penalty, I'll end it all. I think realistically, if I had to guess, it's going to be like a third-round pick. That is my guess, right? I mean, we saw tampering with the Cardinals and the Eagles last year with Jonathan Gannon, and it was just a third-round pick swap. If I had to guess, I really think the highest would get is, all right, Vikings, here you go. Take the Falcons' third-round pick. I don't think that they're going to be like, oh, here's their first-round pick. Like, I just would be shocked. But we'll see. Brian Thomas. Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable combination of size and speed. A fantastic deep threat. Again, maybe needs a little bit of refinement, but you've already got the refined separator in Christian Kirk, the guy that can work the short and intermediate areas of the field. And if there's just anything we saw from the Jaguars last year is that they wanted a guy like Brian Thomas, a guy like Gabe Davis. I mean, they tried to make Calvin Ridley into that. And so, you know what? Darn it. Maybe this works. This could work. Balky's getting a parade tomorrow. To get Brian Thomas and to get that much extra draft capital is just crazy. I mean, we were thinking they might have to trade up to get Brian Thomas. Yeah. That's a bulky W. They did. Ian Rappaport's talking about how they thought they were keeping Calvin Ridley. It was a stunner when he signed with the Titans. Wow. All right. This is an offense. This is looking, they did a good job. They did a good job. All right. Trevor Lawrence getting an asset in the draft and not Kirk Cousins. Oh, man. How is this real? How am I a living, breathing human right now? The Dallas Cowboys are on the clock. Oh, man. Packers are probably getting Arnold at this rate. I'm shocked no one's taking him yet, right? Dallas won't take him. They're set at corner with Bland and Diggs. Corner is one of the spots they really don't need as much. Could they go A.D. Mitchell? I could see it. I could see Jerry wanting to get the guy that went to Texas. Even if it wasn't for that long, right? Go get the explosive, enigmatic receiver that went to the University of Texas. It could be Jackson Powers Johnson. I will say, for even though I just said like, oh, Jerry's going to get the flashy guy, the Cowboys have usually been pretty good drafters, and they've usually made pretty responsible picks. They lost Tyler Biadasz in free agency. They need a center. Jackson Powers Johnson, easily the best center in this class. Great looking player. I think I had the Cowboys taking him during my stream, so I could see that. I could totally see Jackson Powers Johnson here. But they're such a mystery to me. I'm truly trying to figure out what they're doing here because they seem to do such a great job at bringing in talent, and they just horrifically mismanage it. We'll see. Well, Thomas hasn't played a snap, but as long as he's not Quentin Johnston, the Jags should be fine, right? I mean, their receiving room might be better this year. We'll see. We'll see how they use them, but I am optimistic about the Jags again. I'm back on the Jags train. I don't know if I'll pick them to win the division, but People are going to count them out, man. There's just so much hype around the Texans. I think it's easy to forget that, like, the Jags quite literally beat the Texans last year when Trevor was healthy. Like, they went that awesome game in Houston. Trevor and Stroud went toe-to-toe. I'm sorry, Trevor was better in that game. And you could tell me Stroud is better than Trevor, and that's fine. I'm not going to argue that necessarily. I don't know. I think they're pretty darn close. I just can't. I watched that game with great intensity last year, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think Trevor was a little bit better in that game. He was lights out. So we'll see. We'll see. NFL Total Access. The Cowboys are running out of time here. They've got less than a minute left. What are they doing? Don't pull a Vikings. Don't miss your pick. That's a crazy story. I'm sure you guys are pretty much all familiar with that, right? The Vikings missed their pick twice. They still ended up getting the guy they wanted. A fellow by the name of Kevin Williams went on to be one of the better defensive tackles ever, really. Maybe not quite a Hall of Famer, but very, very good for a very long time. The clock is kind of running out on them. Is the pick in? Oh, it's a trade. It's the Lions. No, the Lions are going to get Terrion Arnold. No. I mean, good for the Lions. Oh, no. I mean, good for the Lions. What happens if you miss your pick, then the team behind you jumps in front. So if the Cowboys would have missed their pick, then the Packers could have gone on the clock and made their pick. And if the Packers turned in their pick before the Cowboys, then it counts. If the time runs out, it's essentially a race. Like, they could still make their pick, but then the Packers would be allowed to run. Yeah, he did play for the Seahawks. That's right. The Lions. You knew, right? The Lions are going to make a trade when the draft is in Detroit. They're going to trade up. It's got to be Terrion Arnold here. They need a corner. I know they went and got Carlton Davis, but yeah. They're talking about how they did their homework on corners, right? I mean, what's his name? Oh, I forgot his name. Cam Sutton. Like, his legal status is up in the air. Wow. They got a third. Oh, that was the Hawkinson pick. That's crazy. All right, so Dallas gets a third to move down 5 spots. That's not bad. That's pretty good business. Oh, is Brad Holmes going to pound the table and thump his chest again? Oh my gosh, they're still talking about the reporting as eligible. I can't say anything. I'm still salty about 38-7. Oh, I like the juice that the Vikings-Lions rivalry has gotten these past few years. It's been fun. All right, well, I guess the Lions have some time now since they're up on the clock. Lions with 2 big money extensions this offseason. They got Sewell and Amon-Ra locked up. Some reports saying Goff is going to be next. It is interesting. They have not put pen to paper with Goff yet, though, I will say. So, Oh, what a draft. What a draft. I feel like some of the crazy. I say some of the craziness. I mean, it's interesting to see what these contending teams are going to do now. Now we're to the big boys, right? I mean, these are teams that were in the playoffs last year. Some of them trying to reload after some of their losses and free agency and through trades and everything. What a stream. What a stream. What a draft. I will say, this is another team, like, they just have not missed. Like, golly, the Lions can draft well, and they sometimes go against conventional wisdom. But man, like Jahmyr Gibbs, they knocked it out of the park. And we were all like, that's so crazy they had Gibbs above Bijan on their board. And Bijan was great last year. I don't know, man. Gibbs looked a little better. Gibbs is unbelievable. It really was a wild draft, wasn't it? The Lions had a pretty good offseason, I gotta say. I thought that it was gonna be like tough for them to like keep this momentum rolling. They have gotten better, in my opinion. I love the DJ Reader signing. Like, their interior defensive line is just unbelievable. I like Marcus Davenport as like a dice roll, right? You get him for a lot cheaper. He's a good player when he's healthy. All right, Games is going to sleep. Good night, man. Hey, thanks for hanging out, watching the stream. And how about Brian Thomas and the Jags, huh? But appreciate you coming by. You have a good night. How about the draft? Go Jaguars. Good place. All right, we've got some high schoolers out here representing Detroit. It's got to be like there's no way it's not Terrion Arnold, right? It's got to be a corner. There's just no way. What if it was like Kool-Aid McKinstry? Or Cooper. Could be Cooper DeJean. They did lose CJ Gardner-Johnson. They could use a versatile player on defense. There it is. It's Terrion Arnold. Wow. They get him at 24. Good pick, Lions. Parachamp saying, dang the Lions. Oh, dare I say, at the last second. Are you seeing this? Wait, hold on. Did my stream crash? It's lagging. Hold on, though. I've got some good news. It's charging. Please. Okay, hold on. Hang on, YouTube. Hold the line. Come on. Please, I didn't lag out, right? Is it choppy? I know. It's almost dead. Okay, you guys can still hear me, I think, right? All right, I think you guys can hear me, but my video's a little choppy. You know what? That's okay, though, because we're charging. Right? Let me. You guys can hear me, right? I pulled it up on my phone. The video's a little choppy, though. It's loading. Hopefully this works out. Shoot. Because it's actually charging now. But it's super laggy. My computer's a little laggy. Hold on. Alex saying, oh no, as in Arnold, maybe? Or oh no, as in the stream is dying. I hope not. Oh, those new jerseys are so sick. They really are. Man. All right, come on. Hold on, YouTube. Encoding overload? Hold on. Let me pull up OBS here. I've got an encoding overload on OBS. What could that possibly mean? Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. I'm going to be real, man. I have no idea what any of that means. I've never encountered this before. What if I switch scenes? Is it going to like that better? I don't know. It's laggy on OBS too. I wonder if it's just freaking out. Okay, audio, yes. We will live with that, I suppose. Oh, it's so tough. People are leaving. I've got 6 now. We will live with that. I truly apologize. I've never encountered an encoding overload before. And so I don't let me you know what? I'm a problem solver. Let me pull up my phone here and try and solve this. OBS encoding overloaded. Okay, how do I debug it? How do I do it? All right, we've got an online form. If the computing power available for encoding... I think it's because my battery is low, is my guess. So... How do... Okay, they wrote a paragraph, but they didn't tell me how to fix it. Can Reddit help me? Oh, man. You cannot handle both the video and the stream simultaneously. Shoot. All right. Well, we might just have to do audio only for the rest of the draft unless morale improves. We'll see. Let me double check. Hold on, YouTube. Wait, did it end? No, okay. It says it's still live, I think. I've got an encoding overload. Well, if it like fully ended, you know, I guess you could let me know in chat. Although if it ended, it ended, and I don't know if chat still works or not. It is just like full on like frozen on my computer right now. Let me refresh. It is taking a minute for me to click here. I think it's probably because my computer is about to die and it's just like, oh crap, I'm using so much energy to charge, but now I can't charge and stream, maybe. That is a theory of mine. Like, YouTube's not even loading on my screen right now. It's just a plain white screen. And like when I pulled it up on my phone, shoot, man. Audio, yes, we will live with that, I suppose. Audio, yes, we will live with that, I suppose. And when I don't know if it's super delayed or not. Jackson, Michael Penix to Atlanta. I might have to have chat up on my phone here. Look at that profile shot it's got of me on the stream right now. It is really behind. My goodness. Okay. Let me refresh. Oh, my computer's loading now. Come on. Just lighten your load a little bit, computer. Packers pick is in, by the way. Let's see what we got here, right? We've got some Packers fans in here that we gotta feed the people. It might be super behind, but you know what? We'll live with it. You guys can see all of the pixels of my neck beard that I need to trim. Yeah. All right, I can probably turn it off my phone now, but man. Well, one day. Oh, hey, I actually moved on screen. Oh. Well, we'll see. We'll just keep it rocking and rolling for a little bit. As long as people are still in here. I can't complain about that, right? We've still got some picks to go in the draft. We got the chat up at least. Here come the Packers. Oh, they're getting booed. Let's see. Is it going to be DeGene? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Whoa, Jordan Morgan. All right. We saw another tackle go. They did go tackle after all. Jordan Morgan. Wow. I did not think he was going to go in the first round. I don't have a very nuanced Jordan Morgan take, unfortunately. It's catching me in a big spot here a little bit. But I will say I don't hate the Packers going tackle, right? This is a team that's always been able to draft and develop offensive line really well. This is a Matt LaFleur team. You know they're going to run the ball. They brought in Josh Jacobs. And tackle is like they, you know, yeah. Caden saying, oh, I mean, he plays football. I don't hate it. I am surprised that Johnny Newton hasn't been drafted yet. And, you know, I will say that not to, like, talk about the Vegas odds too much, but Johnny Newton's over-under for his draft position was, I believe, 31.5. which I thought was shocking. Like, I thought for sure Johnny Newton was going, like, mid-first round, honestly. Vegas always knows, man. I don't know how, but they always know. Oh, man. Going offensive line. You know, Newton is still out there. I don't think the Bucs will take him. They don't need interior defensive line. Their pick is in. I could see this being Jackson Powers Johnson territory here too. He was a center. Robert Hainsey was. Could the Cardinals at 27 go get Johnny Newton?